This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What is going on, y'all? This your man Dre Mac, and I was supposed to do the reaction video to the Birdman. I was supposed to do that on yesterday, and unfortunately, that never happened. Then I scheduled it for 2 o'clock today. I woke up at 2. That wasn't gonna happen. So I'm not working this weekend. So what better off time to look at this reaction video, get into this video. I got time. I got plenty of time. And plus I got my ticket for Odyssey, the Odyssey tomorrow. So I'm going to go see it. When I tell you it's sold out, I was shocked. It's majority, even when I tried to go look for the IMAX tickets, the IMAX was primarily sold out. This is a high commodity, and it wouldn't surprise me. The Odyssey wouldn't surprise me. Just based on the hype, and let's see how the longevity goes. And people are not talking about this as one of the best movies of the year. It could be $1 billion movie also. Not just Super Mario Galaxy, not just Michael. The Odyssey could be one of those too. I'm going to reserve judgment because I'm going to go see it myself. I'm going to go see it as a pure fan. That's when I'm going to go see it. I'm going to go see it as a fan of movies. No notes. It's almost 3 hours long. So I'm going to need plenty of rest. So, for what I understand, it's not boring at all. And there's some excellent performances. But you know what else kills me? Is that how many whiny crybaby-ass snowflakes that jumped on the internet, especially when Lupita Nyong'o was first cast, and whined and cried and moaned about her being a fictional character that was birthed by an egg. And in this, because I'm going to go over my man the Birdman's video. They were talking about Grecians being black, and the people, Grecians being white. They just think everything, the default is white. It's not. The default is not white. Unfortunately, you're not the sum of all existence. You're not the default. Just because you're in a European area doesn't mean that European area reflects you. So I'm going to show y'all, based on my DNA, I probably have more Grecian DNA than they do while they talking crazy. So I'm gonna bring up my own DNA chart, to show how ridiculous a lot of these people are. You know what I'm saying? How ridiculous a lot of these people are. That I got portions of Western Europe in my DNA, and none of it has anything else in it. No Afghanistan, no Kurd, no Khazarian, no Iranian, no northern, southern, eastern Caucasus. We're gonna break all this down, but we are most definitely gonna go over the Birdman's video. So hopefully you guys are ready. Hopefully you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to everybody who is in the chat right now, man. I appreciate y'all kicking it with me on this live. And I think on tomorrow, I'm trying to set my capture card up, see if I can game on here. A way for me to be able to game on here. Might have to set up my camera. My phone camera is a secondary camera. But y'all already know how it goes, man. The real question is,
are you say why you hating on my energy? Say why you hating on my energy? I don't think you wanna be my enemy.
All right. And y'all already know, before I get into anything, let me go into the chat and let me see who is all in the chat. I'm gonna be in here for a minute. So buckle up. Hooligan, what's up? Torian, what's good? She, what's good? Junior Network, what's good? Let me see. Let me see. Marty for 2K, what's good? Speaking of 2K, man, I started playing 2K5, and I haven't played that in years, man. And people were dropping the ball. For real. Yeah, I was mad. Nathan, what's good? He said you dozed off a few times. I can't, like I said, I gotta check it out. I heard everybody keeps telling me how good the Odyssey is. So of course I gotta see it. I've been legitimately staying away from stuff and all of that. So even in getting as a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna speed up Birdman's video just a little bit. It's just it's long. It's an hour and 37 minutes, so we're gonna be in here for a while. What's up, Carmel? 1981 full. What's good? Maverick, what's good? See, here's let me do this. Before I get into anything, before I even get into my reaction to all of this, let me shout out the crew members, man, because you already know how y'all do, man. Of course, if you could be a part of the crew, man, hit that join button, man. Let's go. Hold up. Wait a minute. Whoa. Stop everything you're doing. Go and hit that like button. I know this is probably your first time watching, and you probably enjoying everything. Stop fucking on the channel and go and hit that subscribe button so you never miss one of my videos or one of my morning live streams. And for only $2.99 a month, you know you can be a part of the crew. And shout out to all my crew members that have been holding it down for Th3Birdman and the crew since the beginning. All right, back to your regularly scheduled program, now in service. Go. Bye. All right. And again, man, thank you so very much, man, for being a part of the crew. You know, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. Let me do this. Y'all already know, man. I'm gonna go find some other information that I want to discuss first before going to the reaction video. So if this is your first time being in here, you already know, man, I transition by showing y'all some commercials, man. But I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back with more of the Th3Birdman Show.
Knight Rider will return after these messages and station identification.
Scanman, he's Scanman, not just no Bruce boyfriend. If you cross him, you're a dead man. You heard what I said, man.
I
heard he was gay. No way, sister.
Who's that man? He's Dead Man.
The Knight Rider Power Cycle with Kit on the pretend instrument panel.
Here he comes. There's something special happening at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Fresh buttermilk biscuits made from scratch. Our chicken and biscuits a perfect match.
Warm, taste so good, make you want to slap your mama for real. Man, I slap your grandma, I slap your auntie.
Good idea. Playing horsey with your little sister. Bad idea. Playing horsey with your Aunt Bertha.
Let's see who's bad, man. Come on, let's go. Let's do it. I'll show you who's bad. Come on.
You wear a disguise to look like human guys, but you're not a man, you're a chicken boo.
Now the conclusion of
I hate how they talk about you. Everybody thinks you're just a freeloader. They don't know about...
They can't know. They can't ever know. If my cover's blown, we're both dead.
Do you like the car? It's for you.
What's the occasion?
I can't believe you forgot again. It's our anniversary. We've been engaged for 15 years.
You know, I'd marry you tomorrow, baby. But it wouldn't be fair. Not to you or to the free world. Well, look at you.
This is it. I can't believe it. After 15 years, we're finally going to consummate our love.
Damn. This is Stedman. It's the commissioner.
Sorry,
what? Professor Haight? He's escaped? Damn. What? The French Riviera? Now? Yes, sir. I'm on my way. Damn him! Damn that Professor Haight!
He's escaped? Again? Can't they build a prison strong enough to hold him for at least one night?
He's diabolical! I must go.
Can it wait just 1 hour? I want it so bad. 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Believe me, when we finally make love, I'm gonna take my time. It's gonna take all night long. But right now, I'm gonna need some money.
How much?
Let's see. French Riviera. In the house. Wardrobe. Disguises, special weapons, laser glasses, speedboat, armored helicopter.
All I have on me is 1.3 million.
That'll have to do.
Oh, darling, what kind of life is this?
Oprah, darling, you have to be strong. There's more at stake than just you and me.
Here's something to read on the plane.
Thank you, darling.
How about a kiss?
Of course. Close your eyes.
Oh, Stedman.
All right. We ain't played no Stedman here in a while. And to shout out to everybody who was coming in the chat. In the chat. God, I'm reading and seeing the OG Shadow Foxy. Good. What's up? Let me see. Corn Pop 1. What's up? Hey, Tina, aka Mintygasm. What's up? What's up, Dane C? What's good? All right. So before I get into anything, I need people to understand that the Odyssey is a fictional poem story. It's just a story. That's all it is. And what's crazy, Jedi Carter was good. And what's crazy about the uproar from the Odyssey is that white people just think they're everything in Europe just because y'all live in Europe now. But that wasn't Europe before European Caucasian conquest. Just that wasn't it. It wasn't it. That you can literally go to any map. JDN Foreman was good. You can literally go to any map, and see where Greece, which Rome was in, and see the surrounding areas. And think back, who lived in those places? And you don't think black people took boat rides over to Greece? It was a melting pot. But see, with a lot of these people that grift, they get mad, they get upset, They do all of this. They never want to show you any type of research. They don't want to show you anything. What they want to do is just grift and be mad and do this rage bait content. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people just, and see what was really going on. I'm going to tell you this. What's really happening is that they're waking up to their identity, and the racist white people are realizing you're not the sum of all things. You're not the cradle of civilization. You're not the original people. You're not. Unfortunately, you are not. And what you've been taught is a lie, an ugly lie to boost up white supremacy. That's it. You've been told a lie to make you feel good about yourself, and now the truth is coming down, and you cannot handle the truth. That's all. That's all. So before I even get into, my little DNA chart, let's go pull up some history first. And like I said, I'm doing this before I get into Birdman's video because I don't know what Birdman is doing in this video. I don't. But let's just pull up some history, because what I like to do is pull up receipts, because a photo by Walter Jar where Heracles and Bucerius, I guess this is traditional Grecian pictures. And guess what? Those look like black people in there. Now, people forget that Greece and Rome, it was like, let's say it's New York. And if you ever been to New York, and I got my NY hat on right now, shout out to New York, especially Brooklyn. Brooklyn's in the house. If you know anything, you know that certain places are just melting pots where everybody goes, right? Where everybody goes. Well, at that particular time, Greece and Rome. I mean, hell, the Jews from the Bible, the Hebrews, they were under Roman rule at that time, right? So it was a melting pot for a lot of different cultures, civilizations, stuff like that, right? So when you look at some in the history itself tells you within the drawings itself, and that's just one. I don't know if I still have it. But I think I still do in my photos. But I had a whole list of Grecian pictures, of what people look like in ancient Greece. So before I do that, and I know it's here somewhere, but this is just an AI overview, but it said Black Grecians can refer to multiple distinctive topics: the historical presence of Africans in ancient Mediterranean world, modern Afro-Greek communities, notable figures, or historical Black letter Grecians. We're talking about the historical ones. Historically, ancient Greece had regular contact with Black Africans, who they refer to as Ethiopians, meaning burnt face. Sub-Saharan Africans and Nubians were well represented in Greek mythology. Now, Black people that is on this that's on the chat, guess what your DNA has? Sub-Saharan African in it. You know what I mean? You got some in there. You got some Sub-Saharan in you. Right? So it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that Grecians of that time were writing poems, writing plays, writing fictional documentation, like let's say it's a comic book. You know what I'm saying? A fiction is just a story, right? And those people that they were looking at was a part of their stories. Now, I know we talked about this before with Birdman, and Birdman has pulled up the facts that there is no distinction of what Helen of Troy looks like. They never truly describe Helen of Troy. They just said she was beautiful. Her skin complexion, unlike Jesus, aka Yeshua, is not mentioned in there. Because Yeshua's whole thing is mentioned in Revelations. Burnt brass. You know what I'm saying? Voice of rushing waters. But his skin looked like burnt brass, and people still like the Passion of Christ too, still make him white. No problems with that. And here's another thing that I want to get to when it comes to the Odyssey and the crybaby punk son of a guns that's in there. I'm trying not to cuss. You know what I'm saying? But if it come out, it come out. I'm trying not to. What kills me about that is that the main character is not Greek. There's no Grecian main characters in this movie that you will call Greeks, modern Grecians. None. Is Matt Damon Greek? Is Tom Hiddleston Greek? I don't think so. I don't think so. But yet, here we are, where you can point out the black people that's in the movie, then you want to cry foul. White people could do this all day. They could be Christ. They could be whoever they want to be. And you think because of white supremacy, white people that are racist, that are bigots, that are sexist, and all this other stuff, white supremacy made you feel good. But it's a lie. L-I-E, lie. They didn't care about you. They didn't. They wanted to rearrange history. They wanted to change history and put you in the places of the other people that they were trying to enslave. The natives of that land and the people that they brought over on the boat. It is what it is. But see, yet you don't want to acknowledge that. And you feel, oh, wait a minute, hold up. They're taking us away. Look at the historical documentation. Sub-Saharan Africans and Nubians, South Sudanese, Nubians, the ones that was in Egypt, Nubians, the dark-skinned race, were well represented in Greek mythology. Well represented and depicted with careful detail in classic art, pottery, and jewelry. The Metropolitan Museum of Art details how these populations served as warriors, attendants, royals in the ancient Mediterranean. And somebody even made 6 years ago, already made a video, Afro Greece. All you got to do is look it up. But yet you don't want to, because that tears over the veil of the lie that you've been told. You've just been lied to. That's it. You've just been lied to. Now, let's go over to your man Dre Mac. And let me share you my DNA chart. Right? I'm going to share you my DNA chart because I want to prove a point that I probably have more Grecian and I have less than 1% Greece and Balkan in my DNA. You know what I'm saying? But English, Wales, and Scotland. I'm gonna point something out to y'all that is going to shock you. The racist that is in here, or the racists that want to rewatch this because they want to go at the Birdman and all of this. I want to show you something that's going to shock you. Right? My DNA chart: 88% African, West African, 38% Nigerian, Ghana, Togo, Benin, 16%. Guinea, Sierra Leone, 16%, Liberia, Ivory Coast, 3%, Senegal, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, 3%, Central African, 7%, less than 1%, Atlantic Equatorial Africa, which is Equatorial Guinea. If you know, then you know that's the only place in Africa that speak Portuguese. And that also tell you exactly why the Inquisition happened and who they sent over to the west coast of Africa during the Inquisition. But that is history that they want to bury because they want to make all people of European descent white. And it's not true. And I'm about to prove it to y'all based on my DNA that it's not true. Right? What's up, Mike Bree? What's good? East African. I'm showing you all the African first. East African, 3%. Southern Africa, less than 1%. Horn of Africa, Eritrea, Northern European Somalia, less than 1%. Rainforest, African rainforest forager, less than 1%. Middle East and North African, 7%. Maghreb and Egypt. I got more Egyptian blood than a lot of these people who be talking about, oh man, they trying to replace us. Black people wasn't in Egypt. I got more Egyptian blood than y'all do, or more Egyptian DNA. Now let's get to this Western Europe right over here on the you see on the map here, which if you see where Greece is at, guess where the land is? Northern Africa. It's not that far of a boat ride, right? So I'm about to shock y'all. So I'm about to pull raise this up so y'all can see it. Oops, wrong part. So England, Wales, and Scotland, that United Kingdom, right? 4%. Now, I told you I'm about to shock y'all. Less than 1% Greece, Balkan, 2% Americans, right? Indian. Less than 1% Indian for the Caribbeans and Andes, and 1% Central America. Now, here is where I'm about to shock y'all at. Because after you go through all of that, right? After you go through all of this, 0. Y'all see that? Caucasus, the Eastern Caucasus, Northern Caucasus, Southern Caucasus, 0. Arabia, 0. Middle Eastern Jewish, 0. Middle Eastern, 0. That's including Sephardic Jews, 0. Right? Now, the people who occupy those literally have Caucasian blood, Caucasian, come from those areas, right? But my black behind don't have none of that. No Baltic, no Eastern Europe, no Slavic, no Maghreb, no Western Slavic, no Finnish, no European Jewish. But the lands that I'm pointing out all had black people in it. Because in that area of the United Kingdom, guess who ran that joint during the Dark Ages? Bet you can't guess it. I think they call themselves the Moors. All over the United Kingdom. All over it. Great Britain, the last king of Scotland, King Charles, the one who orchestrated the Bible, King James, black. They used to call King Charles, the last black king of Scotland, black boy. Black. Those people were black. And I literally just proved with my DNA where those people come from. Right? Just showing you. So when people start complaining and crying, why black people all in our fiction? There were no black people in Europe. Oh yeah, it was. My DNA proves that it was a lot of black people over there. Right? A lot of black. And I even proved to you that I don't have any Caucasian European blood in my DNA. None. Because I just showed you. Not 1%, not less than 1%, none of that. But I have European from Scotland, Wales, and the United Kingdom, and I have some Grecian blood in there. And you know what? Black people occupied those areas. Guess where black people was also at? Central America. Guess where there also was at? The islands. Why do you think Columbus had a black guy there? Because Columbus didn't discover crap. There were already black people there. What we will call black. But again, at those times, we were called by tribes. The invention of race didn't come in until the 1800s because they wanted to boost up white supremacy. And all I did was take about 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, to prove to y'all, just based on my own personal DNA, y'all was fed the biggest lie in world history. Now, how does that factor in to Helen of Troy and to this exposing the Grift video that the Birdman decided to do? Because Pierce Morgan reached out to Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker of all people. Why? Because there are over 1 million subscribers complaining and whining how black people was in our movies and they're just occupying DEI or whatever. And it's been proven time and time again that the white queens are the ones who benefit off DEI. Proven. Studies show white women, the white man's queen, is the one who benefit off of DEI more than anybody else. You know they don't talk about little people, they're included in DEI. You know they don't talk about veterans, they're included in DEI. What about people that have mental disabilities? They're included in DEI. Physical disabilities, they're included in DEI. They never target those because the racist bigots always have to target us. So that's why we're about to get into this video. But I wanted to show y'all that this blood that pumps through here been all over the place. And I produced light-skinned kids and dark-skinned kids, and not a lick of Caucasian blood is in my fibers. So that means black people can create any color on the spectrum. That black people are the original people of this land. That we spread it. Even when I call it, trust and believe me, when I got my Heplo group is RM269. RM269, matter of fact, hold on. Before I get into that video real quick, hold on. I want to prove something to y'all. Before we get into this, because I know there's going to be somebody who's probably going to skip over this. They're going to be mad, or they're going to listen to this. They're going to be in their feelings and stuff like that. But I want to prove something to y'all based on my own DNA. And this is, and because I'm a man, this is my maternal and paternal line. This is not just my father's line. This is my whole line, right? It's my whole line. So let me see. See if I. Hold on. That's the Y. Or did I do that right? Or did some more information? Hold on. Hold up. I think some more information has came out. Because FamilyTreeDNA.com constantly updates the more information that they have. Now, my DNA, my Heplo group actually changed. Your Heplo group shows your placement on the current Y chromosome. Mine's changed. Mine was RM269. Let me get into, let me share my screen real quick. And we're going to look up together where this is. All right, so that's not what I wanted to do. Let's get out of that. Let me see. Let's because I want to show y'all something. If it'll show me. What if it's not? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. Oh, come on. Okay. Hold on. Just give me just a second because I'm trying to copy this, but it won't let me copy. Not because I had to take that off. So my Heplo group changed. My Heplo group originally was RM269. That was my original one, right? Since then, it has changed. Let's see where this Heplo group now resides at. Oh, this is about to blow. This is about to blow y'all mind. Remember I showed you my DNA chart, right? This is about to blow y'all mind. Because remember I just showed you everything that was in my DNA. So when we go over there and people start talking about black people wasn't here, there, and everywhere, right? When they say that, check this out. Y-DNA Heplo group RCTS 1970 is a paternal lineage that falls under the broader Heplo group R, specifically branching from the RCTS 8035 line around 400 BCE before Common Area. It's strongly associated with northwestern European ancestors and often found in individuals with Irish and Scottish roots. But y'all see my chart. Y'all literally see my chart. Hold up, I'm about to go back. This is why DNA is so important and why people need to understand that black people been everywhere. Because y'all see that. Y'all said, and I just said the Moors was over in all throughout the United Kingdom. It literally just tells you what that Heplo group associates itself with. You know what I'm saying? Northern and Irish, most often found in individuals with Irish and Scottish roots. And you know what the funny part is? My last name is McDonald. That's funny part. But the even funnier part is that when you go over here, how was somebody associated with Ireland and Scotland got all this blackity black in him? If black people wasn't already there. I'm trying to tell y'all need to stop playing with us. I took it, and it showed it's only 4%. 4%. But again, if you go to that 4%, none of it shows you, and I'm showing y'all in real time, none of it shows you anything that is of the Caucasus people, the Caucasian people. That means black people was all up and through there from before the Common Area, before Christ, whatever the case may be. Black people was all up and through Europe. And you telling me black people can't be in Greece? Black people can't be in Helena, Troy? Stop playing with me. Let's get to the video. Let's get to the video. Because now you folks are playing with me. You folks are playing with me. Before we get into that, I'm gonna go to another quick commercial break. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere, because this is gonna get real good. And I'll be right back with more of the Dre Mack Show.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Are you going down? Then you gotta know the best way to go. On the down low.
Damn, you banking like that, and you come over here with a biscuit meal, man?
Would you like to take a survey?
No. Elevator go down the hall.
It's you! It's you!
Whoop-de-doo.
We are talking about the same girl.
Okay, well, what do we do? Fight a duel or something?
Well, I don't know. Maybe,
now the conclusion of Step
Back. Like this?
Slower. Bend over.
Stedman, what's going on?
Darling, are you all right?
Stedman, who was that woman?
That was Professor Haight, disguised as an ugly French lap dancer.
Ugly? She looked beautiful.
I suppose she might have been considered beautiful until you walked in the room.
Oh, Stedman, I've been dreaming of this moment. Come here.
Wild horses couldn't keep me away. Invisible robots!
Invisible robots?
Beep, 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 beep.
Look out!
Man, he's Stedman, not just a Bruce boyfriend. If you cross him, you're a dead man. You heard what I said, man.
I heard he was gay. No way, sister.
Who's that man? He's Stedman.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. Okay, so Tina, to answer your question, it's familytreedna.com. Because I was checking out my maternal and paternal lines, I spent almost $400 on this test. So, but it just shows you how easily that you could just prove where somebody has been just based on their DNA. So, and it's funny because when we look at through the stories, Dane, and thanks so very much for the $5 super chat. When we looked it up, it's in the description of this of the AI that I just pulled up. It was what one of the things that was pulled up in there. You know what I mean? But like I said, a lot of these races are finding something to complain about because that's how they make their money. The grift is real. When you can just make your money off of crying and whining, bitching, moaning, and complaining. Oh, excuse me. And if it wasn't, they wouldn't be able to make no money, but they found a lick, and this is how they make their lick. But I appreciate that $5 super chat, man. Let's go.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
Think you wanna be my enemy.
All right. Let's get to the video, man. I sped it up just a little bit. The Birdman exposing the grift. The critical drinker Nerdrotic is on Pierce Morgan. The grift is real. And this is why now you understand why Birdman and a lot of these other dudes are going, because the Pierce Morgan and people are seeing what these people are talking about. And they probably agree with it. Or they want to make topics. But let's go. I sped it up a little bit, but let's go.
Your friendly neighborhood Birdman here. I just came across an extremely frustrating clip on Twitter. It involves the Piers Morgan show, Piers Morgan Uncensored, and he features Gary and Will, Nerdrotic and the Critical Drinker, in a clip about, or a video about the Odyssey. And he has these two stupid motherfuckers on to talk about why the certain castings are bad or whatever the fuck. And
what's up,
the clip that I saw on Twitter,
who do I miss?
Mind-numbingly stupid from those two guys, and I thought I should just react to that.
And it's funny, he reacted to I'm a guy reacted to a guy reacted to two other guys. Michael Johnson, what's good? Let me see, did I miss any? I think I missed some people in the chat. This what's up? Tony Robinson, what's good? Mike Bree, what's good? Andre Ware, what's good? SSJ Bordock, what's good? Knowledge, Kick Knowledge Smith, what's good? See, before I transition my podcast over to reactions and comic book movie news and stuff like that, this is what I was doing every day on Facebook Live, every day on Spotify, on Speaker Radio. This is what I was talking about. Because I got tired of people playing with me and playing with history and playing with black people. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make black people feel inferior. Hell no. And I'm not saying we're superior. We're the most superior race. We're just the original.
For you guys today, because Frustrating. We're not going to watch the entire Piers Morgan clip. I think it's like, what is it? It's 44 minutes. We're going to get to the parts where Gary and Will make their dumbass fucking pitches, and we're going to debunk these motherfuckers live. Let's do it now.
We're going to bring in three of our regular guests, actually, to talk about...
That's funny. Just me and Birdman reacted to these idiots. I feel like this is a collab that we need. Shout out, hey, somebody hit up the Birdman and said, Dre Mac Show and the Birdman need to do a collab. Make it happen.
A lot of the more negative reaction to the Odyssey movie is being driven in part by the movie fan community on YouTube, which is very vociferous. So we're going to bring in two of the biggest names in that space, Will Jordan, aka the Critical Drinker, and Gary Biglow, who's the Nerdrotic, of course. I was rounding off our truly...
These dudes are just two bigots that they brought on a major show like Piers Morgan. Like, seriously.
Panel, host of Bet News, Mark Lamont Hill. So welcome to the three of you. And Victor's
now one day
I was going before Birdman goes. I shout out to Lamont Hill. I don't have an issue with Lamont Hill. I just feel like he's outnumbered. If you look at the panel, I think he's outnumbered. There's no other black people that there's no other black person that you could have brought on the show. I'm just saying the numbers are stacked. This what it looks like to me. Now, I have not watched any of this, what the Birdman has done. I actively avoided that. Actually, I've been off of social media for about 3 days. Relaxing my mind. Prayer. Understanding, so I could be able to move forward. But this looks unfair. So I don't mind doing this reaction video while Birdman doing this thing, because this looks ridiculous. To me, if I was going in here and I know that you didn't get one bigot, you got two of the biggest bigots in the YouTube space. Two of the biggest bigots. Anyway.
Thing I want to say here is Piers Morgan. If you're watching this, you need to invite somebody like me on this panel, not Mark Lamont Hill. Mark, no disrespect to him, is not familiar with these two motherfuckers. I have millions
I've seen this on
with
YouTube.
an S of views on these two guys specifically. I have shown without a doubt that they are among the dumbest people on YouTube and that they do not know what they're talking about. On top of that, they're fucking incredibly dishonest. Mark doesn't know these guys like that. Yeah. He might know a little bit about them, but I'm intimately familiar with them. So Piers, next time you have these two people on, invite me on the panel so that I can talk to these motherfuckers directly. Because they've been avoiding me, by the way. That's what I want you to know. You need to know that. They've been avoiding me, and I've been cooking these motherfuckers for at least 2 years.
Agreed to stay here. Now, Victor teed this up by saying at the start, Critical Drinker. The fuss exclusively about the choice of having Lupita Nyong'o, a black woman, African-American actress, playing Helena Troy, was somehow wrong. That because mythology has her, even though she's not a real person, has her as a white woman. And this shouldn't have been.
Let's look that up just real quick, if y'all don't mind. Let's just look that up. Oops, I can't spell. Hold on. Now, we've looked this up. Hold on. I mean, AI overview. In the original text by Homer, the Iliad and Odyssey, Helena Troy is not explicitly described as white in the modern racial sense. She's not considered white in the modern racial sense, as ancient Greece did not recognize race this way. He said Homer uses the physical estimates of white arm, which was a poetic marker of high social status and aristocratic privilege. She is not told she could be any. She could be Grecian, like dark, that dark olive skin. She could be dark skin. She could be lighter skin. She could be any skin complexion you want to be. But she's not, by default, based on the original text, by default, not white. So let's get that out the way. Let's get that out the way before Will and all the rest of these yahoos get on here and try to say that she's white. And what do you mean she can't be black, though? It doesn't make sense. Oh, you're new to the channel. Don't get cooked.
Being the case, what is your view?
Yeah, I mean, it's worth keeping in mind that something like the Odyssey is this epic fantasy story, but it's fantasy grounded in the real world. It's set within a very specific geographical location and time. And
no, Will, stop it.
Like any geographical location and time, it has demographics of people that are believable in that time and people who are not. And the best way to contextualize this kind of decision is, say you had a movie set in pre-colonial Africa and one of the tribal leaders was a random white guy, and none of the other characters thought that that was even remotely strange. No one reacted to it, and there was no explanation for it. That's kind of the similar situation to what you have with the Odyssey. It doesn't really make sense.
This is such a disingenuous, nonsensical argument. What he just said was that basically that black people wouldn't exist in this particular time period. First of all, this is fantasy. I know he acknowledged that, but again, this is fantasy. That literally means anything goes. It means anything goes. That's kind of how fantasy works. Okay. On top of that, we have a fucking Cyclops.
Well, Roman, based on your information, I got Roman King BC. I have more Grecian blood than you do. I have more Grecian blood in my DNA than you do. And I proved it on this stream. So you can shut the fuck up. Let's keep going.
In the story, you want to draw the line at people with dark skin or black skin, whatever you want to say about black people. You want to draw the line there, but you're okay with creatures that literally don't exist. Black people exist. But the fantastical elements like the gods and the Cyclops, those are okay. Not to mention, black people did exist in that time period, in that geographical area. Here you go. Ethiopia, which is the ancient name for Africa or the peoples of the African continent. So here we go. Ancient Ethiopia first appears as a geographical term in classical documents in reference to the skin color of the inhabitants of the Upper Nile and Sudan area south of the Sahara, and less often to certain parts of Asia. Its earliest mention, keep up here, is in the works of Homer, twice in the Iliad and 3 times in the Odyssey. Black people were mentioned in the Odyssey. Do you see how Will Jordan does not know what he's talking about? This is because Will and Gary are white supremacist racists. Okay, that's why they say shit like this. They don't do any research. They don't know what they're talking about. They have no clue about these things. They're here to grift, dude.
Exactly.
That's why they're here. They're here to appease other white supremacists and other anti-black racists that want to hear this garbage that, black people wouldn't even have existed in that specific geographic area. It's just not true.
And for the first 40 minutes of the stream, I literally showed you on my DNA chart how, which I do have Egyptian heritage. I showed y'all Egyptian DNA and Grecian DNA. And you know how far they are? A boat ride. Just a boat ride. Probably not even that far of a boat ride. You know, let's say it takes a week. Let's just say for the sake of, I don't know, because I don't ride boats. I'm not trying to get on a boat until I become Aquaman. I ain't swimming either, so don't ask me to. But good to digress. Is literally, I showed y'all in my DNA chart from FamilyTreeDNA.com that there was no separation. There was no separation in that. Besides my boat ride. And a boat ride wasn't that far. It wasn't like there was a classic riding across the Atlantic Ocean. There was riding at the bottom of a peninsula to the next area. It's not that far. So, and there's documentation of historical evidence in paintings and all of this of black people being there. So again, these people can't do nothing but lie, because telling the truth doesn't blow up your channel. Everybody believes a lie. Everybody could believe a lie because the truth too much hurts.
The Odyssey. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that Helen of Troy was mentioned to be a black person, but they were in the Odyssey, something that this man just said that they wouldn't be.
Set within a very specific geographical location and time. And like any geographical location and time, it has demographics of people that are believable in that time and people who are not.
So on top of misunderstanding that fantasy can be anything, he's unaware of the actual historicity of black people in the Odyssey. But this is who Piers wants on his show.
Exactly.
This guy. This is the voice of the angry incel nerddom that has a problem with a black woman appearing for what amounts to probably like 5 minutes. Like, Helen of Troy is not important in the Odyssey. I mean, not to say she's not important, but like, she's not a central character in that story. I guarantee you she'll have like less than 7 minutes of screen time, because I know the Odyssey. Because I'm not a moron like these guys are.
Of the similar situation to what you have with the Odyssey, it doesn't really make sense contextually. And I think that's what people are reacting to. And this is coming off the back of a period within Hollywood movie making where there has been a lot of rather bizarre race swaps of characters. I mean, if you go back to, you know, things like we've produced over here in the UK, we've had an Asian Sir Isaac Newton, we've had a black Anne Boleyn. These are real historical characters, but we're now supposed to pretend that they're a completely different race. And
I'm not sure what the critical drinker is referring to, but what he's doing, this is an obfuscation of the point.
Yeah.
Okay. He's bringing a cursory issue into this one. Like, let's stay on topic. His problem, as he said, is with Hollywood. Why is he talking about the UK scene? We have nothing to do with that. We're talking about America shit right now. Okay. Like, let's try to stay on topic for like 2 seconds, bro.
And then also, you know, to piggyback off of what he's saying, what he's doing is trying to get in the mind of the panel that, look, Hollywood, you know, and across, because Hollywood is doing across the board now, it's spilling over the UK. They want to push that that DEI is wrong, and this is straight out of the white racist, you know, white bigoted playbook. You see, look, America, they're race swapping. Now they took that DEI thought process because of a race swap, and they're bringing it over here to the UK. That's all he's doing. You know what I'm saying? That's why Lamont Hill just starts smiling. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the guy in the corner is talking about. I don't know if he agrees or disagrees, but let's just figure. Let's keep going.
It doesn't make sense.
Right, Mark Lamont Hill, I saw you smirking with derision there, I think I'm right in identifying the nature of the smirk. But if I said to you, look, I'm going to be starring as Othello next week in a massive Broadway
that already
version
happened.
of Shakespeare's great play.
Wait a minute.
Would you feel that?
Wait a minute. Didn't Charlton Heston play Othello in the 50s, 60s? It didn't that happen? Didn't that already happen? So when people bring stuff up, they act like race swap haven't been happening. White people have been race swapping people for years. Again, Jesus, bronze, skin of bronze, hair of wool, white man on screen. Nobody has a problem with that. Nobody has a problem with that. And Roman King, look up who benefits DEI, or just go back to the beginning of this video where I show you who DEI actually benefits. And it's not black people.
Be appropriate.
So let me answer before Mark gives his answer. I don't know what Mark is going to say. He might say exactly what I'm going to say, so this might be redundant. But I've always said that when we're dealing with fictional characters, it doesn't really matter who plays the character, as long as that character's, let's say, identity that encompasses their sexual orientation, their physical appearance, so you know, the so-called racial categories, if a character is trans or not, unless those things are central to that character's characterization, I could not care less who plays them. My question would then be, did he do a good job?
Right.
I'm not going to go, oh, you know, he's race swapping a black person. I mean, that's happened like so many times in history. Like, how much time do you have? Because we can go down the list. That's happened so many times. But specifically with like a character like Othello, I think the reason people would have a problem with it, let's say black people specifically, I'm going to try to speak for my community. I don't speak for my community, but I'm going to try to for a second. Black people might have an issue with it because there are so few black roles.
Yes.
Typically, when a character is created to be black, it's like central to their characterization.
Yeah,
I brought up the examples of Power Man or Luke Cage or Black Panther. You know, T'Challa and T'Chaka. Those characters, their identity is core to their characterization. I remember recently there was something, and I haven't read this, but there was something about a white Black Panther, like an ethnically white Black Panther, and that's something I personally am okay with if the story, you know, makes it make sense. But again, it's what we're talking about is that character's identity central to their characterization. Helen of Troy is a character where their identity is not center to their characterization. Their physical appearance is not core to that character,
and the physical appearance also is not in the contextual text is not specific to their character. They're not saying, well, Helen of Troy because she was beautiful and she had dark brown hair, blue eyes, and milky white skin. It's not said in there. It's not saying that she was, you know, dark hair, brown eyes, and chocolate milk skin. It does not say it. It doesn't say any of that. So it's ambiguous. So it could be anybody. Why does that matter? Unless you're grifting and you have nothing else to do but to grift.
The stupid son of a bitch sitting in the middle to Mark's right, Gary Beekler here. This motherfucker has a problem with Black Snape to the point that he was so racist. He had an AI video of Snape on a broom doing a drive-by. I think they had AI images of him with like buckets of chicken and shit. Snape being black, his ethnic background is not central or core to the character. It's not central to that character's characterization.
It's not in
but the reason that these people are here,
unless you bring up actual documentation, Roman King, stop in the chat. I've already went over this. Go back to the beginning of the video where I break all of this down before I get to Birdman's portion, because I knew it was going to be somebody in the chat. You're capping for Grecian people and you don't have no Grecian DNA. Shut up. Shut it up. It's not even implied. You know what? You know, I wasn't going to do this. But just because for the sake of argument, because people like you who get on my nerves, they get in people's chat and you talk with no information, no nothing, no, just talking. In the original text by Homer, Helen of Troy is not explicitly described as white in modern racial sense. It literally says, and as ancient Greeks did not categorize race this way. However, Homer uses the physical epithet white armed, which was a poetic marker of high social status and aristocratic privilege, did not mean that she was white. It's not even implied. That doesn't mean an implication of whiteness. So, or unless you're using white supremacist ideology and say that white arm, which is a marker of high social status, being because if you're white, you're of high social status. That is literally white supremacy 101, which we are breaking down right now. That's idiotic. You get off of it. Stop tasting the biscuits. You said you're Mexican. Stop tasting the biscuits. You are literally watching biscuit bakers cook the biscuits. You putting honey all over yourself and eating biscuits. That is ridiculous. Stay off the biscuits. Stay off of the biscuits. Let's keep going. Because all you're doing is trolling. So let's keep going.
Are here. It's because they're racist. That's what I'm saying. Gary had the drive-by with Snape. I keep saying Snape. I want to say Solid Snake. But he had the drive-by on a broom with Snape. He had him drinking purple drink and rapping. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is with these people. It's not the fact that they've changed these characters significantly, that they're not going to be themselves. You know, those would all be valid criticisms. No, the fact is they don't like people that look like us. That's just what it is. And that's why these are the worst people to have here, because they're not actually giving an academic reason why, oh, you know, Helen of Troy should be XYZ because of what's written in the text, because they've never read the text. They have no idea what these characters are. They know nothing about them.
I think for me, the question is always, is it historically accurate? Yes. But also, what's the genre? If it's mythic, if it's fantasy, or if the artist is explicitly saying, hey, we're not playing on historical accuracies, precisely because of the fantasy aspect of it, I'm fine with it. But if you're actually not doing that, you're not eyes wide open, you don't show your cards, then it would be a problem. So if you were playing Othello and we had that conversation, I'd be fine with it. The reason I smirked was because there's a long history in Hollywood of white people playing characters that should be black people. I mean Charlton Heston as Moses was kind of wild. You know what I mean? Was it Laurence Olivier who played the Mahdi in the 70s film about Muhammad Ahmed al-Mahdi in Sudan? I mean, it's fascinating to me to see the outrage now, particularly since the character.
We've got our issues with those pieces of casting as well.
No, that's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. The very first exposing the Grift video I made was called "But Ripley from Alien." Okay, what that is meant to convey is exactly what the Critical Drinker just did. Exactly that. Whenever we are talking about something, let's say, let's use this as an example: Lupita playing Helen of Troy, or actually, let's not use that one because let's use an even easier one to comprehend: Captain Marvel. These two dipshits went on an incredible crusade against Brie Larson and Captain Marvel to the point that she's still appearing in their thumbnails to this day. Okay. Exactly. So anyway, my point is this: when we call out the blatant misogyny from these two pieces of shit here, they will then retreat to, but Ripley from Alien, meaning we liked this one, we like this woman, so you can't call us misogynists because we are propping up a woman character. The problem with that is if Ripley from Alien was a character that was invented today, they would have a problem with it. They would be bitching about it. They would be misogynistic towards that character.
Wouldn't they just complaining about Lara Croft, saying Lara Croft wasn't sexy enough and she was this? Didn't we just do it am I a YouTube Grifter reaction video to that not too long ago? Like, stop it. They
would have a hate campaign against Sigourney Weaver if she was, younger in 2026. What the Critical Drinker just did is exactly that. Well, we did have a problem with these old characters. He's probably going to bring up John Wayne, right? And I think this is the clip that I saw. So I think this is where he gets into the John Wayne thing. And John Wayne is dead. Hasn't been alive for a couple decades, and you can't send your incel brigade after John Wayne for doing this. It's a non-talking point. It's nothing. It means nothing. It's an empty platitude. This means nothing. Right. He's going, well, I have a problem with this thing that's not a problem in current times. So you can't say that I'm not consistent. Who do you think you're fooling with this bullshit? If that movie, if a movie with John Wayne playing an Asian character came out today, this motherfucker would be praising it. Oh, it's going against the wokies. It's payback. The white character changed to a black character. Now we have a white one playing an Asian. Payback. That's what he would do. He would not have a problem with it. This is so fake and it's bullshit, dude. This guy did the exact same thing with Tomb Raider. He recently released a video as it's like a shield from the criticism of, the Critical Drinker always hates on women characters or female actors or whatever. So he comes out with a video like, I like this one with a female actress. And it's like a film that was just completely shit on by everybody. The critics didn't like it. The fans didn't like it. The audience didn't like it. So he's using this as, here's the thing, that I'm holding this unpopular opinion about this female character. That means you can't call me a misogynist. It's a smoke screen. Right. That's what he's doing. It's a smoke screen. This is so fake. It's so performative. Okay. It's fake. If that same movie, Tomb Raider, came out today, what would the Critical Drinker do? We got another girl boss movie, another strong female character.
Remember, they were trying to call Supergirl a girl boss. Remember, we just literally had a whole video that we just did doing a reaction video to the Birdman on Supergirl and how Critical Drinker lied through the whole thing about Supergirl, where Birdman had to show you the receipts. Like, what are you talking about? You're a liar. And this is the crazy part. These people do nothing but lie.
Their female superhero who's invincible and a Mary Sue has a crazy budget of $200 million because I actually did the math. And that film in today's money had a budget of $217 million. These are all things that he does for current movies. If that movie was a current movie, that's what he would be doing to it. That's what I'm saying with all of this. This is a shield from criticism. It is fake. It is performative. We all see through it.
I'm not sure we should.
I made an entire video about terrible casting choices in Hollywood, and one of them was John Wayne playing Genghis Khan in The Conqueror. I think that's completely absurd as well. So I've got plenty of issues with bad whitewashing casting over the years, but that was 50 or 60 years ago. I can't do anything about that now.
There are current whitewashing characters Will, you're not talking about any of them. You are so laser focused on comic book movies and what Hollywood is doing. You have no idea the amount of whitewashed characters that continue to this day.
And I'll even go even further, because Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic, they had a whole crusade not that long ago, about 5 years ago, about the black elves that was in The Ring of Power, where we had a what I want to call him, flat top face or whatever. That's all I'm gonna call him. He was out here tasting the biscuits too. You know what I'm saying? He had a whole. I'm talking about the Grift is so big that he had what's his face on his channel? What's his name? Oh God, who did Flat Top Head have on his channel? I'm looking right at him. Well, if Bill Cosby, I forgot his name. Offhand, I forgot his name. Right as of right now. But they had a whole crusade about black people being elves and a fantasy show. Because it's all a grift. That's all it is. It's all a grift. And the biscuit bakers, you know what I'm saying? Like Neurotic, you know, like Critical Drinker, like what's his name? Mayor McNugget. All of these dudes have no problem baking biscuits. And then people like Flat Top Face, they get on. Yeah, let me show you. Let me show you where it's going. Yeah. Black people in fantasy. It's fantasy. It's fantasy. It ain't real. And again, if the character are all considered, it's like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. They literally show you all the characteristics of these particular people. And if they show you the skin was white, that's different. The skin was white, he was grumpy, he had a beard. Then, of course, I wouldn't want a black person playing this character. But then when we create black characters, they crap on them too. Again, this is all a grift. They're liars. And all Birdman is doing is exposing the grift for what it is. Now they're putting the grift on Piers Morgan. That's it.
Not too long ago, there was a movie called 21. It was about this group of MIT students that basically break the system of, counting cards and blackjack. Mm-hmm. The cast was largely white. It was based on a true story. Those people are all Asian. You might think that there goes the stereotype. The students at MIT, yeah, they were all Asian. But the movie whitewashed them. The main actor, I can't remember his name right now, was a white dude. Mm-hmm. The teacher, white dude. Do you have a video on that, Will? I don't think that you do. And if you did have a video, you'd probably be praising the fucking movie. Because it's a good movie. I thought it was a good movie. And that is the difference between you and I, is that I can look at something like that and go, damn, they whitewashed those characters. I think the movie's good, though. It's a good movie. It's fine. Sucks that they whitewash those characters. And I feel like Asian people would have a genuine grievance. But Will, you would never bring that up. That's why you bring up old shit. Shit like John Wayne, a guy who we can't talk to in the current day.
Exactly.
An actor who you can't send your audience to go harass.
Exactly.
It's fake, performative.
Daniel Mendelsohn, one of our other panelists here, penned a column to the New York Times entitled, "Does Matt Damon Look Greek? No. So stop complaining about Lupita and Nyong'o." In it, he asked, "So what is Mr. Nolan up to?" As it turns out, the auteur is using Helen just as the Greek authors did to provoke, challenge, and discomfort how we think about beauty and identity, about who we are and how we relate to the world. Let
me just jump in here. I really don't like.
Before he does that, because I know what Birdman. Because soon as I heard that, I'm like, first of all, Lupita Nyong'o is finding a mother. Fine. Stop it. And that's the thing that and this is the thing just for me. Just for me. Right? This is just for me. Black women, you are beautiful. You are beautiful, especially when you don't have no lashes on, when you don't have no wigs on. You're in your natural state. You are beautiful. Embrace that. Because they are going to say, because she's dark skinned and that she doesn't fit the Hollywood standard of beauty, even when it comes to blacks, because they want to make you could be black, you could be beautiful unless you have European standards of beauty. Right? Do you understand where I'm coming from? So embrace your beauty, because people like these yahoos is going to say, yeah, but she's not beautiful in the sense we want her to make it. So I'm going to make her sound ugly. That's ridiculous.
Like the way that's phrased, that's like, listen to how that's phrased.
Exactly.
We're going to cast a black woman to challenge what we think about beauty. That's like,
it's wild.
You're implying that black people are not attractive, and that we need to force that. We need to force the idea that black people are attractive. Black people are attractive. Just are. You can be mad about that, but it's just a fact. All human beings have members who are attractive, who are relatively average, and who are, let's say, hit. Another thing that is like making my brain tingle here is the Matt Damon thing. And I brought this up in my own video. It was that Matt Damon is not Greek. I don't know what people think a Greek person looks like, but I would venture a guess that he doesn't look Greek. But like, nobody has a problem with that. Now, when I made my video on Ryan Kinnell and I talked about the Odyssey, this was way before people were pretending to be mad that there are no Greek people in it. Because in that video, I specifically stated that nobody has a problem with the fact that none of the cast are Greek at all. That was not a mainstream thing. You might have had, a couple people here and there, on the internet going, oh man, I wish they would, cast Greek people. Why the fuck is Matt Damon Odysseus?
What's up, Jaguar?
That might have happened, but like it wasn't a broad thing. Now it's very broad. And the reason for that is, again, a shield from criticism. People were going, oh no, I'm not racist. I'm just mad that there are 0 Greeks. But then in like every one of those videos, there was a picture of either Lupita or a picture of Elliot Page.
Mm-hmm.
We know what your real issue is, motherfucker. Like, stop with the bullshit. You're not fooling anybody. I don't know. Like, does this like schoolyard shit work on anybody that's above 6 years old? Like, what the fuck? Like, Jesus fuck. In my video, I brought up the fact that Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway.
Shout out to Birdman, because I know it's racking his brain, because these people act like we don't see the hatred. Just like this comment. I was in theater. Let me see. Couldn't do it my freshman year. Got into theater the end of my sophomore year, junior year, senior year. And at the end of the day, we're playing roles. We're acting. We're playing roles. I don't give a who somebody is. If they're trans or whatever, I don't care. Only you care. Only you. I don't care. What role is she? What role is Elliot playing? What role is he playing? I don't care. I don't care if she went from Ellen Page to Elliot Page to a tree or a spaceship. I don't care. What role is she playing? And she's doing an excellent job in her role. That's all I care about. What does the character convey? What does the actor convey with the character to make me feel something? That's all I care. If I'm going into a movie caring about what somebody look like or their sexual orientation, why in the fuck am I watching the movie? What is wrong with you? Why are you watching it? If those are the deciding factors of you watching material, if you're watching material to complain about somebody's skin complexion, somebody's sexual orientation, or whatever the case may be, you need to have a good look in the mirror and say, damn it, I'm racist. Damn it, I'm a bigot. Damn it, I have something wrong with me and I need to go and get help. Therapy is real. You need to go get some. Let's keep going.
Hey, Tom Holland, none of these people are fucking Greek. You could have cast unknown Greek actors. That would have been pretty nice of Nolan, and boost these people into superstardom. That would have been cool. That would have been interesting.
Right.
But Nolan doesn't roll that way. He likes to have his ensemble cast. So it is what it is. I can't tell you if I know too many mainstream, Greek actors. I really don't know that many off the top of my head. I probably can sit down and think of some, but I just don't know many off the top of my head. So my point is that these people are okay when there are white characters, white actors portraying these Greek characters. But you guys have a problem with a black person playing what would be considered a Greek person. This is like the most obvious example of racism that there is.
Facts.
You're mad because she has brown skin. That's literally it.
That's it.
That's the actual thing. If there was like some fucking racially ambiguous person portraying Helen of Troy, but they were like ethnically black, but like they just looked racially ambiguous, y'all wouldn't have a problem with it. Some of you wouldn't even know. Because
just I give you an example. Rashida Jones. If Rashida Jones was playing Helen of Troy, most people didn't even know Rashida Jones was Quincy Jones' daughter because she looks white. Eartha Kitt's daughter looks white. Like y'all switch you sure that's your daughter? She looks white. And Paris Jackson was playing it. That's why every time we get in that conversation, they were like, oh, Paris Jackson, that's not Michael's kid. I was like, go look at Eartha Kitt's daughter. And you would never think that Eartha Kitt birthed a straight-looking white woman. You know what I'm saying? Rashida Jones looks totally different than I think it's Kashida Jones, which is the one who used to date Pac. Because Rashida looks more white. She looks like a white person with a tan. But if she was playing Helen of Troy, there would be no problems. This is ridiculous.
It is skin deep for you. That is the criticism. You haven't seen a second of this movie, and you're already prejudging it that this is going to be a problem. I guarantee you. Today is Wednesday the 15th. I have not seen The Odyssey. My screening is actually in the morning of the 17th because I couldn't get a fucking ticket to the IMAX. All right. I guarantee you that Lupita Nyong'o is barely in this film. Guarantee you. You know how I know? Because I know The Odyssey, unlike these two dipshits at the bottom here.
What's wrong with it? Well, what I primarily point out for the film is the hypocrisy from Hollywood. If you're trying to be provocative, then you are being subversive. You're just coming out and saying, yes, we're being subversive. We're being provocative with this casting. So it's not the best person for the role. And it's not for authenticity. We're trying to challenge traditional beliefs.
Okay. How the fuck does this felon know anything about the hiring practices of a gigantic Hollywood film like this?
Exactly.
How does he know? He said that she wasn't the best person for the job. Well, listen, that's actually not Gary's problem. Gary's problem is that she's black.
Yep.
That is Gary's problem.
Because he's a racist.
Okay? This is the same fucking guy who portrayed Severus Snape as a black person doing a drive-by on a magical broom.
I will say that the beat fire. It is racist as hell, though. The beat fire is kind of like spin that. As much as I disregard, I think that song is stupid. The beat hot, though. The beat hot. Stupid lyrics. Stupid subject. But I mean, we've been having stupid subject in rap lyrics for a long time, so I let these slide because it may not be for me. That's a dope beat. But I can't lie and say that beat ain't kind of fire. You know what I'm saying? But the imagery and everything is totally trash.
And posted all kinds of incredibly racist imagery in his video about Black Snape. This is the same guy that was mad at Ironheart for featuring hip hop music in the trailer for the TV show. The show about a black person.
Jay,
he's mad that one of the cultural tenets of black culture, hip hop, was featured in the trailer for a black character. That's why he's here. That's why.
And let's not forget, because I don't know if Birdman gonna bring it up. That panel with Mayor McNugget, with Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic, and other people kept saying racist things about Ironheart. She doesn't have a father. All of it, they was saying some of the most racist stuff on that panel. Super racist stuff. And I'm supposed to believe them that they have the best interest at heart for Hollywood. They have the best interest at heart to tell a real story of race swaps in America, in Hollywood. No, I'm not. No.
He's on this panel. He couldn't tell you the story of the Odyssey from the back of his hand. All he knows is Lupita Nyong'o is in a role that she shouldn't be in.
Exactly.
So he needs to miss me with this bullshit about, this is hypocrisy. Nonsense. It's not about hypocrisy within Hollywood. It's not about the casting, because he doesn't know anything about the casting. Okay. If it really was about the best person for the job, that literally means anyone could play Helen of Troy. But that's not what he says in his videos. It's why do we have a black person playing the white-armed, fair-haired, which these things are just not true. They're not like what he thinks they are. Homeric epithets. White-armed just means a woman who stays inside, that doesn't go outside in the sun. Obviously, you understand why it would be called white-armed. It is not actually describing the skin tone of the character. And then the Helen of Troy does not have fair hair.
Yeah,
her hair is lovely haired.
You did call him
I already did the Greek translation on this in my video. So if it really was about merit, if it really was about the best person for the job, a trans person could have played Helen of Troy. An Asian woman could have played Helen of Troy. A black woman could play. Hispanic woman could play. But it's always about race with these people.
Yep.
He got mad at Snow White for featuring Rachel Zegler because she's a little tan, according to these people. Even though I played the characters back to back, I showed that Rachel Zegler and the original Disney cartoon, their skin tone was almost identical.
Yeah.
And it's the Disney property. They're basing on the Disney, not the original story. They're basing on the Disney property. It was a remake of the Disney property.
Look, it was crazy. She looks like Snow White drawn. Like if Snow White came out of that drawing and was a real person, she'll look like Rachel Zegler. I mean, I'm just saying. Am I tripping? Or does she look like the drawing come to life? Black hair, the whiter skin, the way that her features are. You know what I'm saying? Put some red. I mean, that was honestly perfect casting.
Their skin tones were almost identical, nearly 1-to-1. So it's about their identity because Rachel Zegler is fucking Polish. She has Polish ancestry. Yes, she is Latina and she is Polish. Look it up.
Well, that's something Christopher Nolan doesn't usually do. This is a game he doesn't usually play. And let's not forget that these beliefs, these quote unquote values of diversity and inclusion are baked into the awards rules. So they're baked into the company's rules and the awards rules. And we just had a film that completely flopped, Moana.
I thought he was going to say Supergirl there. He's referring to the Academy Awards having inclusion. I forget what it is. I'll just look it up. I don't want to fucking sound stupid here. Give me a second. All right. So let's see. These are the representation and inclusion standards. Let's try to find some relevant literature here. Okay. So this is about the eligibility for Best Picture category. And it's saying that you have to meet 2 of the 4 standards to be eligible for Best Picture. So I think this is what Gary is referring to. Underrepresented racial or ethnic group, Black people, Asian people, Hispanic people, Indigenous people, Middle Eastern, Pacific Islanders, South Asian. General ensemble cast, at least 30% of all actors.
Roman King, you're literally talking to yourself in the chat. Nobody cares about what you're saying. Nobody's responding to you. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody. Sorry to let you know that, but nobody cares. Now, as far as Rachel Zegler, I was talking about the way that she looks, and based on the animation in real life, she looks like Snow White. Now, what she says and how she goes about interview, that's on her. But if I was casting, she was perfect. That's who I would cast. You know what I mean? That's who I would cast.
Not submitted for Oscar consideration.
But Birdman honestly just did something, just said something, and I don't think he meant to say it, but it's the 1-drop rule. Because she's Latina, but she has Polish hair, they're going to ignore the Polish heritage. Ignore the white portion of her DNA, right? And just focus on the Latina. Because that's what the 1-drop rule was. And that's why I was talking about he's on the mobile side. That's why he's talking to himself. But that's what the racists do. Rashida Jones, Black Daddy, White Mama. When you look at Rashida Jones, she's racially ambiguous. That if you wasn't paying attention, you wouldn't know if she was white or anything, right? But he's on the mobile side, so I'm gonna let him be over there and talk to himself. But because she does have her daddy's Quincy Jones, because of white supremacy and the 1-drop rule, we would consider her black. So, but Latinas don't go to just Spain or Portugal because you have South Americans that are black that are Latinas too. You see what I mean? So it's we have to stop putting ethnicity in a racial category, because ethnically, I could be Latina, but I also could be white or black by skin complexion. Or should I say we shouldn't put skin complexion on ethnic roots, because I could be Polish too and be black. Like I'm American, but I'm black. But then we got to say black Americans, but white people don't have to say white Americans. They can say American. See what I mean? So it's okay. I'm good on a tangent. Let's keep going.
From at least 200 represented groups, which could be women. That's a huge fucking group.
Exactly.
It really goes to show you the anti-black racism that's going on here.
Anti-black propaganda.
There is an Indian person in this, if I'm not mistaken. There is an Asian person in this, and we have only focused on Lupita. But
exactly,
even if Lupita was not Helen of Troy, it would have met this burden. There are women in this. And then they already have the ethnic minorities, which is there's an East Asian in this, and then there's the South Asian.
I was talking about that earlier.
What I'm seeing here is that you can get best category from just your crew. Your crew can make this a thing. And then here's standard C, where it's saying industry access and opportunities. So you can have paid internships, training opportunities, and skill development for your crew. And then here's standard D. And you can have representation in marketing, publicity, and distribution. So what Gary is doing is misrepresenting the facts.
Yes.
If the concern was, well, we need to hit these metrics so that we can be nominated for Best Picture, it literally says at the top, it says 2 out of the 4 standards. There are 4 standards, and we just went through them. So the on-screen actors, the leadership positions, the industry access, so like these are people who are doing internships, and then the audience development, representation and development, marketing, publicity, and distribution. And just look at this. In-house senior executives or hired consultants belonging to at least 2 underrepresented groups and their creative and development, marketing, publicity, and or distribution teams. Gary has not read through this, obviously. This is the important thing. If Nolan's goal was specifically to be nominated for Best Picture, he would not have to hire actors for that. There are 3 other standards that have nothing to do with
behind the scenes.
He could just do all that shit behind the scenes and then hire a bunch of white people. A bunch of white men, because that's apparently all y'all niggas like.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not.
I mean, it's fine if that's who you are.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have many gay friends.
My father's gay.
Look,
You see, like this is the literature. I'm going through it with you guys live. Not live, but you know what I mean. It's going to show you that he has not read through this. He doesn't know what he's talking about, but he's on fucking Piers Morgan spreading this conspiracy theory that Nolan only hired Elliot Page, the Asian actor. I can't think of his name right now. I'm so sorry. I don't want to just call him the Asian actor, but the Indian actor and Lupita Nyong'o, and he's hiring these people specifically to win an Academy Award when he doesn't have to do that. So this right here alone debunks Gary's conspiracy theory that Nolan could have just done the behind the scenes shit and he would have been eligible.
Yep.
Imagine that. Gary not knowing what he's talking about.
And we just had a film that completely flopped, Moana, the live action remake that was, touting how authentic it was to that culture. Well, that's just a fantasy. Why does it matter? And my argument is, if it doesn't matter, then why change it? It's the motivation behind the change.
Wait. God, dude, that argument doesn't make any sense. Okay. He said a lot of different things there. He's talking about Moana and, how they wanted to be authentic to Polynesian culture, which is, wasn't that exactly what they did with the original Moana, not the live action one? So I don't know why he's like bringing up the live action one when
I've seen
the first Moana would be relevant.
The original one.
Who are the voice actors in that? Let's just take a look. I know The Rock was in it, but let's just take a look. So I just did a quick Google here, and we're looking at Ali Carvalho. I always mispronounce her name, but I'm pretty sure that she's Polynesian. Obviously, The Rock is Polynesian and black. Maine Clement. Yeah, he's from New Zealand. And then Alan Tudyk, he did the rooster, which is fine. Like he's not playing a Polynesian character. He can be the fucking rooster, right? And I'm sure we can go down the list here, but this is the one who you're supposed to be using, right? Is the original Moana. I don't understand why he's talking about the live action one when the original was featuring a bunch. Like, look at fucking Troy Polamalu right there. It's a bunch of Polynesian people in the original. It's not like they cast Polynesian people for the live action and didn't do it for the original. They did. That's what I'm talking about. It's an obfuscation. Like, this shit makes no sense to bring up in this context. He just wanted to get off some dumb, this Disney movie flop. That's all he wanted to do. Like, that's what I'm saying. Why would you bring these people on this platform? This shit makes no sense. This is dumb for another reason. He said, why does it matter that they were authentic to the culture? Well, Moana is an original story. It's not based on anything. This is incongruous. This doesn't make any sense in this context. Yeah. And again, I just showed that the original Moana had a bunch of Polynesian actors. And then he says another dumb thing. If it doesn't matter, why change it? Hold on. You've debunked your own argument, or you've undermined your own argument, I should say. Exactly. When you say if it doesn't matter, then why change it? What you are doing is accepting the premise that it doesn't matter. Yeah. Well, if you've accepted the premise that it doesn't matter, that means we can change it. Yeah. We can do that. It is possible.
And if it doesn't matter, why are you making videos about it every day, crying and whining and complaining about it? Because you make a lot of money on the Grift. That's all.
Possible for us to do it if it doesn't matter, which you just agreed to.
I've seen the original Moana, but I've never seen
on my videos. I have some detractors on my videos, and they go, if their ethnicity doesn't matter for their characterization, then why change it? That's actually not a question that makes sense in that context. You're not actually addressing what was just said. But Gary has taught his audience to do that, and that's why they come to me with that bullshit. It's like the Grifter playbook, bro.
Exactly.
They all say the same shit, and I know they all have the same source, because they're all saying the same wrong thing. And you just heard it from the horse's mouth right there.
Yep.
Well, if it doesn't matter, then why change it? That's a reason to change it, dumbass, because it doesn't matter. God, these people are so fucking stupid.
And it also is a red flag for how we're going to treat the source material and how we're going to go through. Like, I saw this with the Rings of Power. The Rings of Power.
See, I told you.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Other shit.
Wait a minute. I told you. Eric July. So Flat Top Face brought Eric July on his show, and the rest of the round table of the biscuit eaters. I won't mention their name. They already know we got beef, so I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So, but Flat Top Face, you know what I'm saying, made whole videos grifting on Ring of Power because of black elves. And I'm not making this up. Because when he tried to come to me, when he tried to go with me, I had all the receipts to know. He was like, what you trying to say, that I'm out here tasting the biscuits? Yes, you are. Because you had nothing but video after video after video after video after video with these whack-ass AI messed up looking faces on black people doing exactly what Eric July does, what Critical Drinker is, and you couldn't wait to meet Will. I literally went through your whole entire thing, into your whole entire Rolodex. It was, wait a minute, he met Will, he was happy. Oh my God, I get to make the baker of the biscuits I've been eating? Oh man, let me get 2 packs of honey sauce. Let me get 2 packs. As a matter of fact, throw an extra pack in, because I can't wait to taste the biscuits. Nom, 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 nom. That's what I'm saying. And these people are liars. Grifters, anti-black grifters. Because again, unless more people are going against the grain, making videos, making live streams, going at these people, they're going to continue to try to shadow on us because I'm making money off of it. And like I said, Flat Top Face, he didn't want none of this. That little round table he got, don't want none of this. Because I'm exposing all you Negroes for being anti-black within yourself. And we're talking about fantasy. Fantasy. Not real. Boy.
For this topic, they can't stay on topic, bro. Will just did the exact same thing. For the Rings of Power, we don't care about the Rings of fucking Power, dude. We're talking about the Odyssey right now. And the reason they have to do that because they don't know the Odyssey. They know nothing about it. That's why they have to shift to something that they do know something about. I don't even think he knows anything about it, but let's just pretend that he does. That's why they're shifting this discussion, because they can't talk about the actual Odyssey. Neither of them know Ethiopians are in the Odyssey, are mentioned in the Odyssey multiple times. Neither of them know that, by the way. That's why they had to do this. We had the Critical Drinker on video admit.
So let's just say, for the sake of argument, since Ethiopians are in the Odyssey, what if Helen of Troy was Ethiopian? Was a black? Because it's mentioned in there. And no, I didn't read the Odyssey in school. we didn't. I went to a predominantly black school, and we read, I'm not joking, we read mostly predominantly black stuff. I'm not joking. You know what I mean? So I was raised a little more pro-black than some, you know what I mean? But I mean, that's neither here or there. But no, I didn't get to read the Odyssey. But let's just say for the sake of argument, that he wrote this story because he did see the Ethiopian people. Could you really be mad about that?
He had never read a Supergirl comic book.
Has anyone read the Superguard comic books?
No.
But in his review of Supergirl,
he still got that
pretending
clip.
that he knows anything about it. This movie was based on the wrong source material. Nigga, how do you know that when you've never read the source material? I feel like I'm living in a backwards fucking world.
Exactly.
Why are these people on Piers Morgan?
Exactly. It's like Idiocracy. It's like the movie Idiocracy. But we're like, what is going on here? It has electrolytes. I swear.
That like this doesn't. It boggles my mind. Look who they're sitting next to. Do you know how accomplished this man is?
Exactly.
And he has to sit with these harebrained idiots spewing nonsense because they're racist.
Exactly.
And racism is very popular on social media. And they have amassed large audiences due to their various bigotries. They're not only racist, they're sexist as well. They're transphobic as well. They're homophobic as well. They're all the phobes. They're all the isms, right? And they've amassed an audience based on those things.
Yes.
And you have a man as accomplished as this having to sit with these fucking idiots.
Facts.
That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be Mark that's on this platform. It should be me. Should be me. Because I deal with these people. I know exactly who they are. Imagine me on this platform bringing up the fact that Will Jordan compared King Kong to the Black American slaves.
Yep.
Imagine me bringing that up. Imagine his face. Because it would be important in this context because he's an anti-Black racist.
Power, they changed, they had black dwarves and black elves. And oh, by the way, they completely went off the text. So it's a red flag for something else. Now, Lupita Nyong'o, if I'm mispronouncing her name, I apologize, but if she...
He does not apologize.
No,
he knows
doesn't
how to pronounce
care.
her fucking name.
Yeah.
Like they've been mispronouncing her name on purpose.
Yeah.
Ryan Kimball did the same thing.
Yep.
So it's another, you know, these little...
Another out of the Grifter handbook. It's out of the Grifter handbook where they clearly do it on purpose so they can piss people off. That's it. This is rage. All it is rage farming. The media grip is rage farming. It's really big on Twitter. You know, just like the guy came in on the mobile side, he was trying to rage bait me. You're not. I don't care what you're talking about. I don't. And that's all this is. That's all this is media grifting, rage baiting, crap. This is slop. They always talking about the CGI slop, this DEI slop. Your content is slop.
Microaggressions. He doesn't apologize if he's mispronouncing her. She's fucking world famous. How difficult is it to... You're about to go on a fucking massive platform specifically about Lupita Nyong'o and you don't know how to pronounce her name? Are you really buying that?
Yeah, exactly.
He's in it for a little bit. Like the movie could still be good. I apologize, but
what do you say?
If she's in it for a little bit, like the movie could still be good.
He said if she's in it for a little bit, it can still be good. So that implies if she was in it for a lot of it, it would be bad.
Yeah.
Now, again, I know the Odyssey. I know she's only going to be in it for a small amount of time, but that's pretty funny. That's pretty damning right there. Oh, she's only in it for a little bit. The movie can still be good. What does that mean? Can still be good? Can still be.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. And to treat Lupita Nyong'o like she's give me Lupita right now. Give me a Lupita. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that she's give me a Lupita. I'm just saying. I need to stop playing.
It means like she detracts from the film, but if the amount of her in it is a little, then that detraction won't be enough to over these guys, bro. These fucking guys. You're talking about Lupita Nyong'o, one of the best actresses of her generation.
Exactly.
But her presence, because she's black, can detract from the movie so much that there has to be a balance of her screen time. That is so fucked up.
Exactly.
These are the people who millions of people follow, bro.
Exactly.
This is insane.
It could absolutely still be good, but it's a red flag and it's subversive casting. So it does rile people up. It's meant to rile people up, just like the casting of Black Snake.
See, they can't help themselves. I've tried to tell you. Like, look at Mark's face. I wonder if he picked up on what I just picked up on. Like, what does Black Snake have to do with anything? Well, the common thread is that they're black.
Exactly.
That's the problem, guys.
Because they're black.
They're black. That's their problem.
Yep.
That's it. It's not about whether they were the best for the job, which is what they're pretending that it is. They're pretending that, well, if only they hired the best person for the job.
Exactly.
You forgot to add that you also want that best person for the job to be white.
White.
You
Exactly.
think the best person for the job is a white person. If they hired fucking, I don't know, Jennifer Lawrence for Helen of Troy, and then Jai fucking Courtney for the role that Elliot Page is playing, you motherfuckers wouldn't have a problem.
Exactly.
Two of the most blah fucking actors in history. But because they're white, you're okay with it.
Yep.
That's all that this is, bro.
Yeah.
It's just anti-black racism. That's why he brought up Black Snake. That's why he brought up the black elves.
Exactly.
He has a problem with black elves.
What? Man, I wish I could say him the flat top face. Man, they got all these black elves. Man, gotta get the black elves. Man, shut up. Shut up. Cut your flat top off. Golly. Like it's fantasy. There's a magic ring and an eyeball sitting on the top of a mountain, and black elves is where you draw the line. Just like Lupita Nyong'o, the character of Helen of Troy, from what I've read, hatched out of an egg. But her being black is where you draw the line? If that ain't anti-blackness, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. This is ridiculous. And you said, just came to say Nerdrotic has no integrity. He really is a slime bucket. I agree. What's up, Wavy Thames? I got time today.
Please pay attention to this.
I'm gonna be on here for a while.
Victor, let me bring you back in here, if I may.
Yes.
What's your response to that argument?
I think that makes a good point about subversive. When we talk about people of different races playing characters, the complaint about Hollywood, say pre-1980, was that white characters, Burt Lancaster, Charles Bronson, Audrey Hepburn, who played Native Americans, the issue was there were probably Native American actors who would have been more authentic. I don't know if they were as good actors, but there was no effort. But the point I'm making is they tried to look or appear as they were Native Americans. So when a Mexican American actor played Zorba the Greek, Anthony Quinn tried to look Greek, and it was enhanced because he looked.
He was in what, blackface? Would he put on a little makeup to darken his skin? Kind of like the minstrel periods of the late 1900s, the 20th century? Nah, they didn't do that. They didn't go blackface. They didn't do that. Come on. What about the Italian guy who used to play the Native American? So when you litter, the guy had the tear coming off his face. You know that dude was Italian, right? So they couldn't find no Native people, no people that look native to American. Good God Almighty. Oh, the Grift is real.
Look Greek in some ways. When Laurence Olivier tried to play Othello, he was white, but he tried to look like he was North African. And this is
he went blackface.
Guest was right about trying to be subversive.
Hold on, y'all. Hold up. I just want because for No. I need y'all to. Hold on. We want the original. Here we go. Laurence Olivier. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Matter of fact. He tried to look Northern African. My man is in complete blackface. My man is in complete blackface, y'all. Nobody had a problem with this, though. Nobody has a problem with him in blackface. But they were mad at black elves. This is history. This ain't something that we pulled up. It ain't like what's his name? There was no black actors in Hollywood. It wasn't like it. You know what I mean? But you get a white guy paint him black, go straight blackface. I know Sidney Poitier. He was around somewhere. But this is what they thought Now again, history does not lie, people, because they'll tell you that technically now, but I ain't forgot the fake afro. I just didn't want to point it out. Actually, he has his hair permed and it's poofed out. Honestly, he has his hair permed. But I don't even want to get to the point where they're showing you in their time what North Africans look like, but they'll tell you all day long Egyptians are not black. Even though, again, I proved earlier that I got more Egyptian blood and more Grecian blood than the people that are complaining. That's all I want to show. That's all I want to show. So what is this guy talking about? What is this guy talking about?
First, in the case of Lupita, I mean, it would be kind of absurd in modern sensibilities to have
Absurd?
an African-American actress or African-British actress than wear, I guess we could use that word, whiteface, so she would appear more authentic as far as the actual text of Homer goes. But so it is a subversive act. It's saying that we're going to take somebody.
No. Again, like these people who, I don't know who this guy is. I have no clue who this person is. I don't know anything about him. Okay. What he just said was like something that I agree with, and then I immediately disagree with the conclusion. It's that it would be weird to have a black person in 2026 wear whiteface to try to appear more like a certain ethnic group, which is what they did in the past.
Yeah.
And I think this is a bad argument because, okay, so I agree that would be absurd.
Yeah,
but I think
I'm about to say, in my point of view, that would be bad if they made her look white. If they would have went white chicks with it, then yeah, I can understand that. But that's not. But it's a bad faith argument based on just a recent. Now I've never read the Odyssey. I'm going to go see the Odyssey for myself. I'm interested in it. Maybe I would read, or do an audio book on the Odyssey after watching the movie, right? Or whatever. Here's the thing. If the text doesn't specifically say anything about her ethnicity, then why does it matter? And again, this is white supremacy 101. To be able to continue the standard of white supremacy, I have to continue to insert people there and make the default white, where I literally proved based on my DNA that white people are not the default, not even in Europe. My DNA tells the whole entire story. So that means my original people, because that's what your Heplo group means. That means your Heplo group originally was placed at a certain place. So if for the sake of argument, my Heplo group was in Irish or Scotland, that means black people was in Ireland and Scotland at that particular time and migrated out of there. That's it. But again, they don't want to tell that portion of the story because that's too hard, because that's telling the truth.
This is a bad argument because those instances of those people trying to appear like that thing that's bad. That would be red face or black face or yellow face. Those are things that shouldn't have been performed. Right. The thing that I have a problem with is that he says more authentic to the text, to Homer's text. Now, again, I don't know anything about this guy. He could be a fucking scholar. He could have read the Odyssey forwards and backwards. I do not know, but it sounds like he hasn't. And again, I've gone through this already and shown that Homer's epithets were ways they were used in a way to show how Helen made the people around her feel rather than physical descriptions of the character. She is not physically described. So even if we were to put Lupita in, whiteface makeup, that would also be inaccurate because we don't know what Helen looked like. We know that she was beautiful. Lupita Nyong'o is beautiful. We know that she was a woman.
Yes.
Lupita Nyong'o is a woman.
Yeah.
That's about it. We know that she was, always inside, living a aristocrat life, right?
Yes.
Black people can't portray that. Like this is what I'm talking about. Like
exactly
the way that they talk is a problem.
There it is.
Because they're trying to normalize these ideas that are not actually in the text.
That's what I was trying to get at. Where, you're trying to say, or you're trying to make it seem like that Black people cannot be in these spaces where I can literally show you, on my own research, black aristocrats in Europe during the Dark Ages, Black kings, Black queens. That's why they always say that we was kings and shit, because we were. And you're mad. You're really mad. I'll be upset too.
Saying, how she was described. How was she described?
Exactly.
You don't seem to fucking know. I pulled up actual passages and translated the Greek my damn self.
You did.
Something I don't think at least a couple of the people on this panel have done.
I never seen
I don't like the idea of we got to put her in makeup to make her look a certain way because we don't know what Helen actually looked like.
Exactly.
Yes, we can assume.
I've never seen Troy. I just remember Brad Pitt playing the character, and I don't think Brad Pitt is Grecian. If he is, let me know. Put it in the comment section. Put in the chat. Let me know if Brad Pitt was Greek, because I don't think they had a problem with Brad Pitt being Greek. Yeah, it's same thing. It's the same argument, Dane. See, it's the same argument.
That she was a white Greek. We can assume that based on, the fact that this is a Greek legend, right? We can assume that. Yes, I would agree with you. I would be fine with Helen being portrayed as a white woman. I would be fine with that. But what I'm saying is, because we chose a person who is not white, it's not okay to say, well, she doesn't look like how she was portrayed in the book, because that's actually not a thing. She wasn't actually physically described. Please do your fucking research. What I've seen on the internet is that people go, well, look at what these later authors said about her appearance. Well, that's not what Homer said. And we're going by what Homer said.
Right.
This is Homer's story.
Right.
And in Homer's version of the Odyssey, which is the original, she was not described physically. Please, if you think I'm making it up, just look it up. Just do your research. I've already shown this. You can watch my video on the topic.
Yep.
But you can go and find out for yourself. She's not physically described by Homer. The later authors who were, describing the character and making stories with the character, they described her a certain type of way. And I think that has bled into the cultural zeitgeist, through this weird osmosis where, the people who came after Homer, they built on the story and therefore that's the definitive version. It's like, no, it's not how that works. Anyway.
But it is a subversive act. It's saying that we're going to take somebody who does not appear anywhere near the look of Helen.
That's what I'm saying.
And why it might have been.
What do you mean anywhere near the look of Helen? Yeah. How do you know what she looks like when she wasn't physically described?
Exactly.
He's doing that same thing. I would be. He has a fucking Trump book behind him, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's never actually. I don't really want to, talk too much about this guy. I don't know anything about him. I'm just going to say that the way he's talking is a problem here. Yeah. He has the Trojan horse behind him, I think.
Yeah,
could be that he knows this story, but the way that he's describing it is just inaccurate to the actual text.
Been less subversive for Clytemnestra of other characters. After all, Helen is a central character and caused the Trojan War. I have no problem, as the other guest said, about being subversive.
Wait, what did he say?
Less subversive for Clytemnestra of other characters. After all, Helen is a central. It might appear anywhere near the look of Helen. And why it might have been less subversive for Clytemnestra of other characters. After all, Helen is a central character and caused the Trojan War.
Okay, but this is the Odyssey. The Trojan War is not a big part of this story. This story is told after the Trojan War. I think the Iliad would be more important for talking about the Trojan War and Helen's impact. But this is the Odyssey. This is after that. I believe this is 10 years after the Trojan War. 10 or 20 years. I can't remember exactly which one.
I have no problem, as the other guest said, about being subversive. If that's openly your point, is to draw attention that you're trying to destroy characterization or traditional stereotypes, but it's not being authentic to what the author imagined.
Okay.
It might.
What? What? How do you know if he never gave you a description?
Exactly.
This is so stupid, man. And then, you know, he's parroting the talking point that they're or that it could be that they're trying to undermine, you know, the original characterization of the character. Again, all Helen has to do in this story is be attractive. Like that's kind of her thing. And Lupita Nyong'o is very, very attractive.
Yeah, she can get it.
Now, you could say you don't have a preference for Black women or African women.
Exactly.
That could be a thing that you could say. I just don't think saying that she's not beautiful is a thing that would work. I don't think that's something you could just say, because there are people that find her beautiful. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right?
And I would love to behold her.
I think most normal people find Lupita attractive.
Yeah.
So that's really all she has to do. Again, she's just in a small section of the Odyssey where she recounts some history.
Gang don't want it. They don't want you.
What else? What other characterization would they be undermining? Is what I'm trying to figure out. I just don't understand this argument here.
Your interpretation of what he imagined, but if it isn't, and again, I think, just to finish,
if I'm not mistaken, has Lamont Hill spoken once, or he's going to go around? I don't know, because I haven't watched this. Is he going to go around? I mean, obviously he's going to speak. But you had, just my observation, 3 people that are very anti-Black speak before the Black guy does. I'm sorry.
We have a whole tradition of it is kind of insulting to, you know, it's very unpopular. Alert. There's a lot of content.
But Future Boy, I literally pulled up. But you know, let's do it again. Let's do it again, because maybe you wasn't here, maybe you missed it. Here, let me share my screen. In the original text by Homer, the Iliad and the Odyssey, Helen of Troy is not explicitly described as white in modern racial in the modern racial sense, as ancient Greeks did not categorize race this way. However, Homer uses the physical epithet white arm, which was a poetic marker of high social status and aristocratic privilege. That just means she was rich. That's it. That's it. He never described her. What I'm saying, her. We're not talking about nobody else. We're talking about Helen of Troy, because that's the main topic. I don't want to go to nobody else. You know what I'm saying? But Helen of Troy, based on just the AI overview. AI even said they didn't even mark her. They didn't describe her physical characteristics. Birdman did the video, which I reacted to, where he went over the Grecian of it, which I appreciate that. And they do not describe her from the Grecian translation as her being of any color. That's it. That's all. I don't know what's so hard about that part. They never described her. And Birdman said this earlier, you know, people described how they felt when they saw her. They didn't describe her. So while we're talking about her, she's not described physically in the original text. Point blank, period, end of discussion. Let's get back to it. Yes, Future Boy, he did, but he didn't describe her. Yep. 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 Mm-hmm. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Sorry. I was listening to Birdman and missed. Forgot to send it back over here. My bad.
how the West was won, and you didn't have one American actor in it.
Dude, see, again, I don't know this guy. I don't know how much he knows about media. This type of thing happens all the time in other countries.
Like button.
There are plenty of Japanese and other Asian properties where they take a Western story and flip it. And when they flip it, they use all Asian actors. Hong Kong productions, China proper, Japanese, Korean. When you look at those properties, they always do remakes of Western properties and don't feature Western actors.
Yeah,
this happens all the time.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure this happens in India. I'm not as familiar with Bollywood as I probably should be, but I'm pretty sure they do that too. I'm pretty sure other cultures do that as well. This is a very common thing. But I guess because we're special, we have to center ourselves at this conversation and go, well, if they didn't feature a white character, like these people, they come across as very media illiterate.
Yeah.
That they're just unfamiliar with these things and they make themselves sound silly. And it's really frustrating for me as a person who has seen these things with my own eyes. And I thought that they were fine. I don't have a problem with, if they did a fucking all Asian Black Panther, I think that shit would be dope. They have to change some things around a little bit, to make it make sense. But hey, I would watch that shit.
I would. Hey, real talk. I'll be hella curious to see what they do. All Asian Black Panther cast. I'll be hella curious about that. But see, what's funny? Remember when Dragon Ball came out, and I was so excited about Dragon Ball. They made the majority of the main characters white. I mean, hell, I'll watch a Mexican Batman. You know what I mean? But oh, hey Nathan, hey, take care. But I'll watch a Mexican Batman. I'm not going because I'll be curious to see what they do. What is it? Oh God, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. They did it for Desperado. I mean, they still made it, but that was a Mexican film, I believe. And then they did it. Was it Quentin Tarantino adapted it for the American audience, but still, of course, put Mexican people in the titular roles. But I mean, technically, Mexican Batman is Zorro. That is true. But I'm gonna take a quick break. Don't go nowhere because we got to finish this up. Because we got about 40 more minutes of this, but don't go nowhere because I'm gonna take a break. I gotta take a quick break. I gotta stretch my back and all of that. But we're gonna get back to this. But do not go anywhere. I'll be right back with more of the Dre Mack Show. Do not go anywhere.
Knight Rider will continue in a moment.
Wow, 19,000! It's off!
This is the problem with being rich.
Your only other nickname is Dick?
No.
So you understand the words I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
What?
Coach, I've got AIDS.
Wrong. You're HIV positive. Big difference. It could be years before you even get sick.
With That's My Slow Jam, we found a way to get you all these slow grinding hits at an unbeatably low price. Act now and get all 58 songs for only 52 cents per track.
Just a good old boy.
So skip it, do run, do jump, do hop, hop.
Hi.
Now the conclusion of
Darling, are you all right?
Oh, what happened?
The robot ducked.
Oh, it's a private room. Lock the door.
Of course. First, let me close the blinds. I think someone's calling me.
I didn't hear anything.
Hello?
Monsieur Stedman, this is the Mayor of France.
It's the mayor of France.
It seems that Colonel Hayes...
You mean Professor Hate?
Yes,
Professor Hate is still alive, and he's vowing to destroy you and all of France. There's not a moment to lose.
You got to give me 10 minutes alone with my fiancé. I'm begging you, man.
No, out of the question. Hurry, my yacht is outside.
Darling, I hate to ask, but...
How much do you need?
I'll bring you the change.
Nice of you to drop in, Stedman.
James Brolin. As always, your timing is perfect.
Please, call me Captain Laser.
Still battling Dr. Chaos? I bet Babs is worried sick.
Hey, how does Oprah let you out of the house without a costume?
I'm a secret agent.
Damn! You're good.
I'm the luckiest woman on earth.
All right, man. I had to give me a cookie. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Wouldn't watch an all Asian Black Panther anime? Come on, man. Stop the cap.
All had Europeans or Africans or Asians. So to make this national epic, which the Greek people feel is a continuous tradition from the 7th, 8th century, and not have a single Greek actress or actor is kind of jarring when you go out of your way to get other people who would cause controversy and sometimes in a subversive manner.
I mean, I get that. I really do. I understand, like, you know, it would be cool if everybody was Greek. I really do. I really understand that. But why haven't the Greeks made this story like a big IMAX The Odyssey? Why haven't they done it? If they really gave a fuck, why are they mad that another artist is using his own vision for his own version of this story? Anybody can tell the story of The Odyssey and flip it.
He got
Go
his
back to the
expiration
Japanese
date on
example.
his face.
You could tell a Japanese version of The Odyssey, right, and cast nothing but Asian actors, and it would still work.
Halle Berry and Robin Gibbs was fine as hell in that movie.
The story is what matters, not the identity of the people portraying the characters in that story. That's the most important thing here. So Christopher Nolan is giving us his version of The Odyssey. It is his version. He is a white British person. He's not Greek.
Right.
So he might have a perspective that is different from, you know, what the Greeks would like, but this is his art and he can make it however the fuck he wants.
Exactly.
If Greek people had this big of a problem, they can make the fucking movie.
And I didn't want to stop what Birdman was saying because he's right. But you know who had a problem with a movie? Gods of Egypt. I'm just saying, the people who were playing the gods of Egypt did not look like me, and I have more Egyptian DNA than they do. And the Egyptian people had a problem with that movie.
Themselves, but they didn't.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure there are other versions of The Odyssey made by other groups of people and also made by Greeks. But like, if you wanted this, you could have made it yourself.
Exactly.
I understand you getting mad at somebody for making their art. They wanted to make it.
Exactly.
Now, I wasn't really paying attention to The Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic. I wasn't really paying attention to their reaction to that movie, the Vigilante movie with Armie Hammer. But I'm pretty sure they were okay with that film. I don't think they thought it was good, but I think they were okay with it because it was the vision of that director. It was his vision. That's what he wanted to do. Pretty sure they would argue that it's okay for them to portray what they portrayed in that bullshit trash ass film because it's the artist's vision. Why are we not giving Christopher Nolan that same grace? He is the artist. It is his vision.
No, hooligan. I'm not.
He is allowed to do that. It is his freedom of speech to use art in the way that he's using it. The same way Citizen Vigilante used their freedom of speech to make that garbage trash ass movie. What's the problem? Why are you so worked up over this? I truly don't understand this.
Had this anger expressed because there are no Greeks in this movie. An open letter to the Greeks at any time said Greek people did not disappear after the age of myth. Greek culture was not frozen in classical marble. Greek language was not extinguished in antiquity. We are still here. Now, if you go back in time, this is not the first time you've had a black actress play Helena Troy. Orson Welles cast Eartha Kitt as his Helena Troy back in 1950. Something I didn't discover until.
And was it okay because Eartha Kitt was light skinned? Like,
right?
Where's the fuss about?
I was I was thinking about that because Eartha Kitt had a certain tone, and she was attractive towards white men at that time. You know, they didn't have a problem with that, and because it's in black and white, you could clearly see that her skin complexion pops on screen a little lighter, even with that noir black and white look. Now, I'm going to see if I can pull this up real quick. Hold on. Yeah. I'm going to show y'all something. And that's why I keep telling y'all, stay off of Michael Jackson's kids too. That's Eartha Kitt's daughter. That is Eartha Kitt's daughter. If I'm not mistaken, does Eartha Kitt's daughter look racially ambiguous? See, Eartha Kitt's daughter, you wouldn't have never knew, because we had a thing called passing. I want y'all to get this in your mind. A thing called passing. So if she was racially, if she was racially ambiguous, like Eartha Kitt's daughter, since she played Helen of Troy, right? You wouldn't hear from Will. You wouldn't hear from Nerdrotic or any of that. This is her daddy. What's it? This guy, I don't know his name. But and that's why I keep saying about Michael's kids, right? Why I keep saying about Michael's kids. But if she looked like Eartha Kitt's daughter, they wouldn't have a problem. They wouldn't have a problem. But because it's Lupita Nyong'o, it automatically tells me that the deciding factor of all of this is that she's white. And Eartha Kitt's my complexion. You know what, Maverick 77 Defender? My youngest daughter, my baby. Me and her mother is the same complexion. Me and her mother is the same complexion. My daughter, yellow. Just yellow. Why? Her grandmother's yellow. And then I also have a daughter who's on darker side. That's black people. We can produce the colors of the rainbow. That's why they used to call us colored. Because we didn't all come in one. Black is not one shade. There's not one shade of black person that we can even compare our skin complexion, but like, yeah, and somebody might still be a little darker or lighter. And even though we may look the same, we're not. Because we are the spectrum on the color palette. This is literally Maverick 77 Defender. Why they used to have the paper bag test. You see what I mean? Because we literally can hit every color spectrum imaginable. That's what's the unique thing about black people. That's why I showed you Eartha Kitt's daughter. So in Maverick 77 Defender, I would just say this. I have a more Amerindian blood than some of the people who be complaining about this. And Amerindians did not look like the people that you see on TV. They don't look like the last of the Mohicans. A lot of them look just like me. So saying she's Cherokee or whatever and disproportionating her blackness is disingenuous. Because black people been here. And that's why you got to go back to the beginning of the stream. So I did a whole history lesson on my ethnicity before I even got to this. So we could get that out the way. To show the people that I have more DNA that's associated with the people of not only the continent, but Greece, the United Kingdom, the UK, and the Americans. But nobody's trying to hear that because they don't want to hear that, especially when you have people that look like Orson Welles spending $5 to become a Native American because they was giving out land. They called them the $5 Indian. So I don't get into all of that. What does your DNA say? I want a DNA test like you committed a murder. What does your DNA say?
It's about that. Maybe there was. I think it's before my time. So
this morning. So there is precedent for this, Daniel. It's been done. There wasn't the outcry then, there is now.
So there wasn't the outcry that there is now. Imagine that. Imagine that we live in the most politically volatile era in history, and that we're doing things that have already been done, but only now they're a problem. Didn't I say exactly that with Ripley from Alien?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
No irony.
But if I'm Greek, I'm probably looking at this going, yeah, I would take the view that Victor just articulated, which is, seriously, you're not going to have a single Greek actor in the Odyssey?
I mean, first of all, I think it has to be said that all of this is a sort of a tempest in a teacup, because as anyone who has read the Odyssey knows, Helen has the tiniest imaginable role.
Thank you. Thank you. This is a whole nearly hour-long video. My video is probably going to be an hour for something that she's barely in.
Exactly.
And they brought these two fucking morons on for what's going to amount to a 5 to 10 minute scene, bro. Holy fucking shit. Thank you. This fucking guy he said what needed to be said here. This gigantic controversy, all you fucking loser ass motherfuckers going to the fucking trailer and downvoting it. And then these guys using the fake dislike counts on return YouTube dislikes to draw up this fucking controversy for a character that's barely going to be in this movie. Oh my God. Again, it is Wednesday, July 15th. I have not seen this movie. And I know that she's barely going to be in. I know it. It's gonna be so fucking funny when that son of a bitch on the far left of your screen makes his review and tries to make it about these characters. That's what he's going to do. And we're all going to fucking see the Odyssey. So we're all going to know that he's lying. The same thing that he did for the Barbie movie, where he shat on the Barbie movie and tried to pretend like it was something that it wasn't, even though it was a movie we all fucking saw.
And
Barbie he's gonna do that same thing. I almost guarantee it. Or if his audience likes the thing, he might try to change and soften his tune a bit.
I'm trying to tell you, for what I'm understanding, everybody likes the Odyssey right now. It is sold. I'm talking about sold. I was like, damn, it's a 2:00 showing and the IMAX is showed out. I mean, I pay for it. I'm an A-list stub member, so I was getting the movie for free, but I wanted to go and see it in IMAX. Sold out.
Surprised me, that whole fucking rigmarole. The thing that he did with Prey and what was it, House of the Dragon? He shat on House of the Dragon before it came out, and then when it actually came out, he changed the title of his video. This guy, it's predictable, man. It's fucking predictable.
In the Odyssey, and I have seen the film, and I think it's fair to
he
say
saw it. He saw the movie.
Odyssey, and Helen has the tiniest imaginable role in the Odyssey, and I have seen the film.
Damn, I really wish he wouldn't have said he saw the film. Not with the Critical Drinker and Gary on here at the same time. Because I'm trying to tell you, they're going to pretend that the role is bigger than it is. They would have. Now, the Critical Drinker has done this before. Has completely lied about a movie after it came out while he was on a panel with the person that gave him pertinent information.
Yes,
he's done this before. So I'm not discounting it, but I really wish he wouldn't have said that. He saw the movie. So I knew it. I'm trying to tell you, she's barely in the fucking thing, man. I knew it. But it's going to be so funny if the Critical Drinker tries to pretend that Helen brings this movie down. My God. That would be hilarious.
And I think it's fair to say that she's on screen for maybe 45 seconds, literally.
Not even, I thought 5 to 10 minutes. We're doing all of this for a character that's on the screen for less than a blip. He might be exaggerating. This might be a bit of hyperbole. I can't imagine she's only on there for 45 seconds. Not Lupita Nyong'o. You know what I mean? She's a real accomplished actress. And I know this is a Nolan film. It's an ensemble cast. He always does those. It's not 45 seconds. I really want to bring my phone in and time the fucking screen time. That would be funny. But less than a minute, he's saying, Jesus.
So that's one thing. I mean, it really seems to be silly to getting everyone's knickers in a twist about a very minor character. Is he trying to be provocative? Yeah, absolutely. I would say that, of course, you're not going to cast a black person as Abraham Lincoln because these are historical documents, and we know.
Right, and that's what I said before is that Abraham Lincoln, because he's a character in history, his appearance would be central to his characterization, right? Because he did something that only a white American person could have done at that time. So it would probably be best if he's portrayed by a white American. Or anybody who's white, really, but can do a reasonable American accent. Yeah, this is against what the Critical Drinker said earlier. Is that I've seen these properties where a black person was playing a historical white person, or Asian person was playing a historical. I think he said an Asian person played Isaac Newton. Okay, but that's not your problem with Hollywood, though, right? You're talking about Hollywood. Can you give an example of Hollywood having done that recently, at least? I mean, I don't want to speak for the history of Hollywood. Maybe that has happened in history, but like, has that been a thing that's happened now? No. Right. So you can't really call it a fucking race swap because that character never existed. We're talking about fictional characters here.
Fictional character.
Abraham Lincoln was a real person. You don't do that for real people. But you know what they always do? They always, when we, I think it was when Black Snake was announced, what did they do? Oh, well, what if we had a white person play Malcolm X or Martin Luther King? Yeah. Those are real people, you fucking dipshit. Exactly. You're comparing Severus Snape to people that actually existed.
Exactly.
These are the dumbest people imaginable. They're not even on the same level of the argument.
Exactly.
They're way down the fuck here.
You know, we have a sense of what historical characters look like. We have documentary proof. This is a fantasy epic, right? We're all used by now to seeing all kinds of actors of every imaginable.
But here's my issue. Here's my issue. There's a Cyclops in his movie. They're fighting a Cyclops, which I hear. I don't want to be spoiled because Tori and she said they seen it. I heard that scene is just dope. Almost horror element of dopeness, which I want to see. I can't wait to see it tomorrow. With that being said, it's a Cyclops. There's a one-eyed dude in here. But the black person that's on the screen for 10 minutes is the problem. That's what I'm saying. These people are racist. You got one dude on here with an expired face. You got two other idiots on here. That face is going to look like his in about 10 minutes. I mean, maybe 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? In a little bit, just give it some time. Let's give it some time. Their face is going to be falling off the bone here in a minute too. You see what I mean? Because they just when you're so racist, when you're so bigoted, when just the idea of black people bothers you. This is the reason why the dude at the middle of the top, why his face looks like that. And again, Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic, get ready. That's your future right at the top. And again, you have three. Pierce Morgan is not slow. He's not an idiot. You bought three bigots on here and two people to defend it and one black dude, so you can say, well, I brought a black person on here, so it is stupid.
Distraction on the stage, in movies.
I think it's a great example. The stage in Broadway, or just plays in general, off Broadway, whatever. Everybody plays everybody.
Exactly.
Women play men, men play women, black people play white people play black people. On stage, it doesn't fucking matter. I wonder why that when we get a fucking camera involved, it all of a sudden changes.
Yes.
I really don't get that. Why is this not playing? Play it, Daniel.
Operas playing kinds of people that were, roles that were written originally for white people. It really doesn't matter to me. I think the real question to be asking about this movie, and I don't know who else among my fellow guests.
Why is Gary nodding to that?
Earlier this Monday, last Monday,
he doesn't believe that. Why is Gary nodding?
Forget about the details. Everyone's hysterical that the ship isn't accurate, the armor isn't accurate, the costumes aren't accurate. They speak with American accents because, as everyone knows, the ancient Greeks and Romans spoke with British accents. Blah 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 blah. Okay.
Right.
The real question, I think, is
that's pretty funny. That is something that they always do. Whenever we watch a film that's set in like
do you know that we have 30 some odd minutes up in this video? I remember I sped it up just a little bit, and we're getting to the end where Mark speaks, to the end of Birdman's video where Mark actually speaks. This is wild. You let three races go first, and let the one white guy who's seen the movie and the black dude who don't know who these idiots are but got to defend their ridiculousness go last. It's by choice.
Ancient times or old times, they always have the received pronunciation British accents.
Yeah,
received pronunciation. The accent that Piers Morgan is speaking with is actually younger than the accent that I'm speaking with right now. If you can believe that. It's true. Received pronunciation is younger than American English. But that's the accent they always use.
That's true.
For ancient
stories
in places that existed before
Britain.
Exactly.
does this film convey the spirit of the original? That's in a large sense.
Oh yeah, he got to chime in. He hates that. He really hates that. That's my argument, is that as long as they're getting the story and the spirit of the story correct and the spirit of the characters correct, it doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter if the helmets are inaccurate. That doesn't fucking matter. It's a movie. It's entertainment. We're going to be entertained. We're not fucking historians going, oh, well, that helmet on that fucking suit of armor, that ain't accurate. It ain't made out of that particular fucking percentage of steel. It's actually palladium. Like, I don't give a fuck about that.
Oh, that, you know who that sounds like? That sounds like my favorite YouTuber. That sounds like my favorite. Well, if I gotta look at Helen of Troy and see Lupita Nyong'o on there, where's my premium milk? I mean, my credit score is good enough to go into a movie and see premium milk and not Lupita. I mean, I'm a bird without fear. I can't stand him. I'm gonna roast you forever, dude.
We're going to be entertained. If we were going for accuracy, we would go watch a documentary.
I would say, well, where does it stop?
I'm very fancy.
He immediately came with the slippery slope argument. This guy is nothing if not predictable.
Start saying, well, the armor's not accurate, the ships aren't accurate, the casting's not accurate.
No, he didn't say that.
Accents are not accurate, the dialogue's not accurate. Well, what do you have left? Like,
it does save you a lot of
but
money.
like that then means that you want to watch the Odyssey in ancient Greek.
Yes.
I don't think you want to watch that. I don't think you would care, Will. I really don't think you would care.
How far are you going to go with this?
Well, also,
I don't think that's about. No, I think absolutely you can get the thrust of the story across, its main themes. I don't think these incidentals actually matter that much.
God, I love people reading Will for filth in his fucking face. I love it because he doesn't have people that push back on the things that he says.
Exactly.
Everybody's a fucking yes man.
Yep.
When they're around this son of a bitch.
Yep.
When he's on his podcast and the other people, they might have a slight disagreement and then he pushes back, then nobody pushes back on him.
Yep.
God, I love that. That's what I'm saying. I need to be on this podcast. I need to be on Pierre's show instead of Mark because I love Mark. I think what he does is great. Again, he's very accomplished, but look how quiet he is. He doesn't know these people. I know them. I would have ate these niggas up easy. They'd have left. They'd have been that fucking mad at me.
Presents Odysseus as the kind of hero he is in the original. If it gets across the crucial themes, homecoming, the meaning of home, the allure of adventure, competing with the desire for the stability of home, all of that stuff, then I'll be happy.
Right.
Okay. I mean, let me bring in. I want to bring in Mark Lamont Hill here because of something Critical Drinker, whose video on the Odyssey has had over.
Like I said, we got 31. I mean, it's less than that because we're speeding it up a little bit, but we're almost at the 31-minute mark that's left in here. And now Mark Lamont Hill is now talking.
5 million views. And Critical Drinker says 3 million.
Just 3.
Yeah, it was 3 million views. I was actually going to make a video on it, but I don't know. For me, it seems redundant because we're probably going to make a video on him after it comes out where he, says some dumb shit. If he, does an actual movie review, I'm gonna leave him alone. That's what we want out of Will. We want him to actually do movie reviews. Leave the anti-woke talking points the fuck out of it. That's not a movie review, bro.
It's not.
Just say, hey, look, here are the things I liked. Here are the things I didn't like. Try not to fucking spoil the movie, Will. That's what he always does. He goes through the whole fucking. I mean, it's the Odyssey. It's an old story. We all kind of know it. Most of us, the people who actually know what the fuck we're talking about. But just don't spoil it. Give us your likes. Give us your dislikes. Give us an overall rating, your recommendation, and that would be that. That would be fine. I would leave the Critical Drinker the fuck alone. The problem is he doesn't do that. That video that they're talking about. Oh dear. What does he go in? He goes into the dislikes, which we've already debunked. He goes into a bunch of other things that are just irrelevant to the film as a film.
Exactly.
He's talking about the character's identity, etc. Like that type of shit. That's irrelevant. And the guy right there, he just said Lupita's barely in the fucking movie, and we're here doing all of this.
All right.
What is wrong with us?
Yeah, exactly.
As a society, shitting on things we haven't yet seen, we haven't yet experienced. It's okay to say I'm not interested in that thing, but to go on this huge fucking hate campaign for something you don't even know.
Exactly.
That is a form of mental illness that the only thing that's a cure is education, is people like me spreading the information, the correct information and the knowledge and the facts and debunking these people, because holy hell, is that a fucking mind virus. You talk about the woke mind virus. This is a mind virus.
I'm sorry, you've been promoted.
Hit 5.
You've been promoted. It's been promoted by one of my team. Obviously, he just wants to make you sound even more successful and famous and rich than you already are, which is hard to imagine. So only 3 million views. But in it, you say about it, there's this weird assumption that every other culture, race, and ethnic group.
He got 3 million. Just think about that. He got 3 million views spreading hate. 3 million views spreading a hate campaign, and y'all saying the little dude with the mustache was the most hateful person on the planet. I'm just saying, he got 3 million views. People were agreeing with his stuff to the fact where it got on Piers Morgan's radar. And I got 31 people watching me on YouTube, 13 watching me on X. Shout out to y'all. And people were mad, even though I brought up my DNA and in the facts, not something that I made up. My DNA tells a story. And people were still in here, well, one person was still in here arguing. That's crazy.
In the world are entitled to their own unique stories, history, and identity, and it all has to be carefully fenced off and respected. Whereas anything created by white Europeans is treated like some generic all-you-can-eat buffet that everyone's allowed to stick their hands into. Mark Lamont Hill, your response to that?
Let me jump in before Mark jumps in here, because I've actually addressed this point very specifically. Stan Lee talked about the creation of the comic book characters that he made, and what he said was, and I'm paraphrasing here, was that he would base the characters in his stories on the people that were around him. He lived in New York. He was fairly affluent person, I would say. I don't think he was like super poor or whatever, but he was surrounded by, let's say, middle America, and that would be white people. That's why Mr. Fantastic is white. That's why Iron Man is white. That's why the Human Torch and his sister are white. That's why. So in that respect, white characters have just sort of become default. It's white defaultism.
Yes.
Because they did that, well, there was a kink in that armor. It's that these characters then are not defined by their whiteness.
Yes.
And that means that if you're going to adapt that character, well, then they can be portrayed by other groups of people, because their characterization does not require them to be white.
Yeah.
So maybe that was a mistake by the white people who created these stories.
Yes.
Is that you didn't give us enough information on those characters. So, we're left, when we do adaptations, to then fill in the blanks with however we see fit.
Right.
I mean, you're free to explain to me what is white about Johnny Storm. You're free to explain that to me.
Yeah.
Like, what is white about him? Hothead, playboy, handsome, all things that it could be Asian, it could be black, it could be Hispanic. Those characteristics fit all these groups.
Exactly.
So that's the problem with the critical drinkers argument, is that, that's your fault though.
Yeah.
Because when black characters are created, they are almost specifically created to be black people in those fantastic situations.
Yes.
And it always bothers me when they go, oh, let's have Ryan Gosling as the Black Panther, because it goes against that mantra.
Yeah.
That when Stan Lee created Black Panther, he was created, and Kirby specifically created to be black.
Yeah.
His characteristics are black.
Yes.
His background is black. Not necessarily American. Obviously, he's not American. But I'm saying the character is meant to be that thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Johnny Storm is just a guy.
Yes.
Homer, he wasn't thinking ahead. He didn't go, this character has to be white. Those damn Ethiopians, if they ever made a picture that moves with my characters, they better not be played by those Ethiopians.
Exactly.
He didn't do that.
Exactly.
And therefore, we have a black Lupita Nyong'o playing Helen of Troy.
Yeah.
Now let's see what Mark Lamont says.
I think that feeling is one that every culture and ethnicity and race has. I mean, we have this conversation every year whenever there's a movie about slaves or enslaved people in the United States, and we looked at all the actors aren't black people, they're getting played by Brits, and it's a similar conversation internally within the black community, the African American community in particular, even about Lupita. And so I think that feeling is common.
Because Lupita is actually
Mexican.
Mexican. She's born in Mexico. She's not born in America.
Yeah. But I think when it comes to European culture, European civilization, I don't see any historical record of that. I mean, the fact that we're still showing the Odyssey, playing the Odyssey, reenacting the Odyssey, rewriting the Odyssey. People make their academic careers just on translations of the Odyssey.
Right.
We are obsessed with European culture and centering it. And when one film comes out that has an alternate interpretation and a more fantastic, and I mean that in the sense of fantasy, a more fantastic interpretation of it, we act as if, the world is ending.
Right. And I said that before in my video. I had a picture up that was it was an image of a bunch of stick figures. And they were all white. and then one stick figure was forced diversity, and then two stick figures that were black is white genocide. It's a meme, right?
Yeah.
Inject one black person, one Asian person, one Hispanic person, the world is fucking ending.
Yes.
What Mark just said is true. It's, well, you know, we have so many things that is centered around whiteness and white culture.
Facts.
And what these people want is for that to be 100% white. How many black people are in The Odyssey? Let me look at the cast. I got 5 people. So Travis Scott, Zendaya, Lupita, Corey Hawkins, and Giovanna Depo are black. It's literally the meme.
Yep.
All the main people in the story are white. Robert Pattinson, Charlize Theron, Matt Damon, Tom Holland, John Bernthal. What's the fucking problem, dude? This goes back to the stupid fucking argument that the Critical Drinker made before. He's like, all the enemies in the movies, all the villains are white. Yeah, all the fucking heroes are white too.
Exactly.
Like, you would have an argument if Odysseus was played by a black person. Then we could like have a discussion like, oh, okay, so the main guy is black. Maybe that's interesting. Maybe that's an interesting conversation we can have.
Yeah.
Everybody's fucking white here, man.
Exactly.
You got a 1-minute scene with a black person and you're fucking mad, bro.
Exactly.
You guys are pathetic.
Anne Hathaway is
I don't
in
think
it.
we need to do that. I think it's okay to have this type of interpretation. And I think if you were to subject any text or any film to historical scrutiny, if I were to look at any film about the 50s or the 60s, if you look closely enough at the clothes that they're wearing or the music that's playing, there's usually some anachronism there. It just so happens that we're sort of obsessed with this one. And it's finally, in terms of fidelity to the text, most books that are turned into films are not the same as the movie. Go watch The Color Purple. It is absolutely different on screen than what happened in the book. What Spielberg did is very different than what Alice Walker did. That is a normal artistic gesture. And no one is confused about this. And it seems to me that the only people we're worried about, not you guys, but some people are worried about
definitely those guys.
Yeah,
See, that's what I'm saying. I need to be the one on this because I know it is these guys specifically, Mark. He doesn't know them.
I was literally about to say, I was like, those two on your right, oh, they most definitely have a problem.
Is the Lupita one the smallest character in the film? Again, nobody.
They do this for every film. That's what I'm saying. Mark doesn't know. Piers, you need to have this guy on there, a guy that's actually a part of this war against these fucking monkeys. Okay, me versus them, because I make videos on them. I know them like the fuck is that on my hand? I have videos on these guys detailing that they do this for every fucking video or movie, TV show, everything. Mark doesn't even know that.
He's Greek. Nobody matches ethnically, nationally, etc., culturally with these characters. But the only one that seems so out of step that we can't stand it is the black one. And that's why Eartha Kitt makes sense, probably because she's not as dark as Lupita. So
I'm talking about Will's butt cheeks. Y'all can't see it because my head is in the way. But Will's butt cheeks is tight right now. He's clenching, boy.
It wasn't as jarring to people. But the idea that the black character has to be the one that we put on the outside, this is silly. None of them fit.
Well, we're talking about Lupita a lot, but there's Zendaya, there's Elliot
Page. What does Elliot Page have to do with this?
Yeah,
you're mad because a trans person is there?
Exactly.
Like, what is the problem with a trans person in that role? Please explain that to me.
Wait a minute. Do we for those who do know, I know a little bit about Greek and Roman paganism and stuff like. Do you know how gay a lot of rituals and stuff like that in Roman and Greek history were? Nobody has a problem with that. So that's why I say I don't care about he wasn't because she's black. Tori, I'm surprised he didn't say Travis Scott. I just found out today Travis Scott was in it. You know what I'm saying? Elliot Page is a trans person, but guess what? There was gay people all through there. It just wasn't a procedure for them to go the full mount. You know what I mean? These
their genitals in the fucking movie? Who gives a fuck? Yeah. Elliot Page is a man. They're portraying a man. Elliot's white. What's the problem? See, his bigotry, he couldn't hold it in. That's what I'm saying. It's not just that there are black people here, it's that they are bigots. These are fucking bigots all the way around.
Yeah.
Why did he bring up Elliot Page? What does Elliot Page have to do with anything here? Exactly. And what's the title of this? It's jarring. The Odyssey dismantled. Okay. I thought this was all about Lupita because we've been just talking about Lupita here.
Page, which nobody's brought up. I mean,
well, I was actually literally about to ask you about that. So let me just ask you that, Nerdrotic. Is Elliot Page, formerly Ellen Page, so a trans, woman who became a trans man.
A trans woman who became a trans man. Oh, boy. Come on. Can we get some professionals here, please?
Is in the role of Sinon, a cunning Greek soldier and the cousin of Odysseus.
No, see, don't ask Nerdrotic this question. The guy that's above Mark, he saw the movie. Ask him. Ask him what Elliot's role in this movie is. I bet you that role is small.
It's been billed as another casting controversy, said to be a nod to contemporary LGBTQ,
and from
etc. politics.
X-Men 3.
And the memes have been relentless. Let's just take a look at some of these.
I'm going to skip past this. I don't want to see that bullshit on here. Let's just get to what they're talking about.
Yes, from the online stuff, because that's what the online world does. But I mean, should we care about this? Is it a nod to the LGBTQ culture war, or is it just the fact that Elliot Page is a good actor, got picked for the role, and does a good job?
Yes, I think that it's the latter. You know, Elliot has worked with Christopher Nolan before. Played a character in Inception. So Nolan typically works with the same actors on multiple projects. I mean, we got Robert Pattinson, who was in Tenet. Who else was here? There are a few. There's a few. I don't want to go through all of them, but he typically works with the same people in his films. So this is it. If we're going to say that they're doing this for the Oscars or whatever, that would just be incorrect based on the fact that Nolan works with the same people. Like if Michael Caine not being in this is a surprise because he's in every fucking Nolan film, right? So Nolan works with the same actors.
I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that for me?
Yes, for Nerdrotic, yeah.
Okay. I don't know if Elliot's a good actor or not. I think it's
what? This guy's a piece of shit, man. Like it's just a piece of shit, bro. The only reason he's saying that is because Elliot is trans. That's it. We've seen Elliot in other films.
Yeah.
We know that they're a good actor.
I was about to say before Elliot transitioned, Juno. I watched Juno was a good, great film. That's the first time I heard of when she was Ellen Page from Juno, and that's a great film. Great film. So, what is this dude's a jackass?
You could make an argument that Christopher Nolan likes to work with people he has worked with before, and you can also make an argument that this is absolutely a nod for that. I think it's a little bit of both. I don't know why you bring in a character that wasn't even in the original poem from outside it, you know, and just for this part, and that those are changes that certainly can be made. And again, if Christopher Nolan's name isn't attached to this film, everybody's going to think it's a bomb.
I mean, that's not what even is that argument? Who cares? We do care because it's Nolan. It's like saying, oh, you know, Spielberg is making this movie called Jurassic Park, but if it was, you know, another person making it, we wouldn't.
Oh yeah, he wasn't.
Okay. Sky's blue, nigga. You're not fucking breaking any news here. The movie looks the way it does. It was filmed the way that it was filmed. It has the amount of hype it does because it's Christopher Nolan, and we know Christopher Nolan has a damn near immaculate track record.
Yes, he makes really.
What even is this point?
Yeah,
you wouldn't be on this platform if you weren't a fucking anti-woke dipshit with 1 million subscribers.
Exactly.
I'm not like, yeah, that's why we've hyped this film.
I'm trying to tell you, he not too far along. Look at that face. He's gonna be buddy up top in no time. Give it a little bit. He's gonna have a long, drawn out face that's falling off the bone in a little bit because the bigotry and the hatred and the racism. He can't help it. A guy who's a felon, he can't help it. Watch. You can watch him, but like, damn, what happened to Nerdrotic? His face is falling off the bone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's going on?
That's why we're excited for it, because he has a track record that is pretty fucking good. Stupid.
He on the highway.
Christopher Nolan being attached to this film, he gets a certain amount of respect that he absolutely deserves, the benefit of the doubt, which he absolutely deserves. I don't know how much Elliot is actually in the film as well. It could be a very small part as far as I know, and it still could be good, but you can't blame people.
Could be good.
The context of this is, yes, there is a culture war. There's always a culture war. And there's one it's an open culture war right now, and we are 10 years deep into it, and we are seeing the same red flag.
No, we're not. These guys always go back to 2016. No. This rhetoric that these guys have been parroting is far older than even they are, than their parents. Okay. This is homophobia, transphobia, anti-black racism, anti-minority racism.
Yes.
That's as old as fucking time.
Exactly.
Talking about a fucking culture war. Christopher Nolan ain't a part of the culture war. He casts people that he liked, people that he worked with, people that auditioned and did a great job.
Exactly.
None of that is the culture war. You people have made it this. This is bullshit. A bullshit talking point. Now, I want to give Gary a bit of credit here. I do think he is the more reasonable of the two dipshits on this here, on the screen. But what he's saying is nonsense. This is not starting 2016.
Yeah, it is.
It's far older than that. This is the struggle for civil rights, to be seen as a person. Exactly. Black people have been fighting that since we've stepped foot in this raggedy ass country. Fuck out of here.
flags and signs, as we have seen with other films, be it historical drama or just known mythological text or just a well-known story, that they are changing to be subversive, and people are now sensing that. That breaks the spell, that breaks authenticity, and it takes you out of the movie when you know what the motivation is.
Nonsense. Your immersion is broken because there's a black character.
What I say earlier, if you're going into a movie not to have fun, not to enjoy, that's like me going to go, let's say for the sake of argument, Ghostbusters 1984 comes back to the movies, right? For some special whatever. And I'm sitting there and I'm pissed off because they have an androgynous a gozer and a black dude that's a Ghostbuster. And instead of sitting around watching a movie, having a good time, laughing, giggling, eating my damn popcorn, drinking my drink, I'm so focused on the androgynous gozer that's not real and a black dude that's a Ghostbuster who quite literally just was looking for a job. What am I doing? Why am I going to the movies? Why do we go to the movies? Y'all put that in the comment section. Put that in the chat. Why do we go to the movies? You know what I go to the movies for? To have a good time, to enjoy the art. This, at the end of the day, this is art. This is what I came for. I didn't come for none of the rest of this bull crap. I didn't come for you to sit up here. Here's black people here. Take your racist ass to Europe. Denmark is looking for people. Jeez.
There's a trans character. And because you assume that they were hired so that they can win best or even get nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards, that makes no sense. Stupid. If your suspension of disbelief and immersion is that easy to break, you probably shouldn't be watching films. You should be in an asylum somewhere because you're a crazy person. It's really that simple. What fucks up a movie for me is if the movie is bad, what a fucking concept. I know. I'm the first person to ever say that. Amazing.
Right. The motivation should be best person for the job. Period.
Yeah, that's it.
And how do you know that it wasn't the best person for the job? You don't know, so you probably should shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Silencio. Be quiet. Stop pretending that you have information that you definitely don't, Gary.
Exactly.
Holy fucking shit.
Tina.
Shut up.
Exactly, Tina.
Yeah, Victor, I mean, take, for example, the ongoing thing about James Bond, right? Who's obviously a fictitious character, British spy. And I've never had a problem when there were rumors that Idris Elba may be the new Bond of having.
But the two motherfuckers below you do have a problem with that.
In Idris Elba, who wouldn't want to see Idris Elba as Bond? Hell, he was playing a super soldier in a Fast and the Furious spinoff movie. So him being James Bond is out of the realm of possibility. You see what I mean? These people are stupid.
Those guys, I think they've talked about that before. I'm like almost certain that they have. They do a ton of podcasts together. I'm pretty sure they talked about that. They have a problem with that because it's not about the characterization. It's not about if the person that's portraying that character is doing a good job. They don't care about that.
Yeah, it's
what puts money in their pocket is the culture war.
Yep.
That's why Gary's talking about 2016 like that was the beginning of anti-black racism, anti-trans sentiment, anti-LGBTQ people. Like 2016 was the beginning of it. No, 2016 was Gamergate, dude.
A black man played James Bond because I thought fictitious character. Why does that matter? I don't think the racial identity of James Bond is particularly pertinent to the movies. However, I had a big problem when there were rumors circulating it might be a woman. They might change James Bond's sex. So
that's cognitive dissonance, Piers. That's cognitive dissonance.
Mm-hmm.
If the ethnicity doesn't matter,
then
the gender doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because you can have a butch female James Bond. You ever heard of lesbians? This thing that could exist. You could have a manonizing, is that a word? I don't know if that's a word. A manonizing female James Bond, and she could, bed a bunch of guys. Because that's the only reason that he's saying that he would have a problem with it being portrayed by a female. Is that, James Bond's a womanizer. I mean, listen, how many men has Brittany Renner had sex with?
Exactly.
How many men has she tricked?
Exactly.
Brittany Renner, look her up. Beautiful girl.
Yeah, exactly.
She can trick me too. I'm being completely honest with you. She can trick my ass. But how many men has she tricked? You can act like female players ain't a
Hey, she is bad though. I'm not gonna lie. Brittany Renner's bad. I could man, I do it. I ain't gonna say I'll do it, but she can't trick me. But I'll do it. Oh boy. Woo.
Thing. You guys are sheltered.
I don't even know if my views are consistent here with any of this.
They're not.
But I think they could be rescued. The issue is twofold.
I didn't know that.
Are these first the anachronisms? Are they within the parameters of the believable? So if you have a ship, does it sort of look like a trireme, or does it look like a U.S. destroyer? To be extreme.
That's a fair take. I agree with that. That's a fair take.
So, and the same thing with the characters. Do they approximate the image that you want to convey that this is happening in early Greece? And the same thing, I think, with race. If you have Ian Fleming's novel and it's very male centric and masculine in the 1950s or 40s sense, and you have a black actor, you can say, well, race is incidental, not essential to who James Bond was because he's a man of action. But when you bring a woman in, then that's a bridge too far because it violates.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a fictional story. You can. This is an alternate history. Have you ever heard of those?
Yeah, you can.
Like, what are we doing? This is fiction, guys. That's what I'm saying. Like, are these people just fucking media illiterate? You've never heard of alternate fiction before, or alternate history? Never heard of that? I have a story that I've been writing for. Well, I have a few stories I've been writing for a while. I'm the best procrastinator in the world. But I have a story that is set in an alternate history.
Shut up, Alvin.
And that alternate history is just the background dressing, and then the story has almost nothing to do with that alternate history. But the alternate history was required for this particular thing to make sense.
Right.
Right. So you could just suggest that a female James Bond exists in an alternate history where we didn't have those hangups in the 50s. But it's weird. Like, I mean, because the fictional the female James Bond would come out today. It would be set in today's era. I mean, Daniel Craig's movies weren't set in the 50s.
Right.
So this one's like, this is just dumb. Like this is stupid on its face. Doesn't make sense. Right. I don't like that talking point. Yeah, you can have a black James Bond, you have an Asian James Bond, you can have a female. I don't care. Make it make sense within the context of the story, and we're good. The only thing that matters is the story good? That's it. We're dealing with fiction. If we were talking history, then that's a different story. Let's be accurate to history. Okay, I would agree with you guys there. But this is fiction, fantasy. It can be whatever the artist dreamt up.
Exactly.
It's the entire ethos or atmosphere of who James Bond is. And I think Daniel made a good point. When the two minor characters are the two sisters, Clytemnestra and Helen, in the Odyssey, they almost have they don't have very many lines at all. So if you want to bring in an African American and work within the boundaries, but if you,
oh God, Lupita's not African American, guys.
But
she's born in Mexico.
Do you? Let me just ask you guys a question, because they keep bringing up African American. Is it me, or does that seem like that's what they really have a problem with? Even though Lupita Nyong'o, her name is Lupita Nyong'o, but she was born in Mexico, so technically she's Mexican. By country of origin, she's Mexican. Like, I was born in America, and I was born in Kansas. You know what I'm saying? So technically, I mean, I'm a Kansan by where I was born at. I'm a Kansan. You know, not a Missourian. I'm a Missourian because I lived here as much as, but y'all get what I'm saying. But do you get, or is it just me? Or is the people that really do, they have a problem with African Americans, black people in America? Because that's what they keep bringing up. They're not saying Africans. You know, oh yeah, she has it. What I'm saying is she was still born in Mexico. She's technically Mexican based on where she was born at. You know what I'm saying? She's from the Americas, but she was born in the country of Mexico. You know what I mean? But it just seemed like they have a problem with African Americans. If Lupita was born in Kenya and she was a Kenyan actress, would they have a problem? You think? Because it just seemed like they keep bringing up African American, and these people wake up. These especially the two at the bottom, especially it look like Will's about to crap his pants. You know what I'm saying? The guy over here with the longest face ever. You know, it's, I don't know. It just seems like that's where they really have a problem with.
She's Mexican.
If you were to cast her as Penelope, that's a simple character, and that would bring attention so that her race would be essentialized rather than incidental to the character.
Right.
I, again, agree. I'm trying to think of, like, with this person's logic, I understand the logic. But again, I would then bring it back to, is that character's ethnicity integral to their characterization? That's the thing I keep coming back to. Even if Helen was in a much larger portion of this film,
that's what
it still wouldn't
like
matter, because again, her ethnicity is not who the character is. We know that she's beautiful. We know that she caused a war. Okay, that's it. So be beautiful. For me personally, Lupita being the most beautiful person in the world is at least feasible. You know, and that in and of itself is.
Man. Oh my goodness! Why you have to show the picture in the middle? Birdman. Birdman. Why? I mean, she looked like a sexy zebra. God, dog. Ooh. Hey, look, I'm just saying. Bring that, what you don't like, bring that chocolate to me. Bring that over here. Bring that over here. Woo. Hey, Birdman. Thank you for that picture. Thank you for that picture. Woo! That woman fine. That woman, I like that. But see, that's, you know what I'm saying? I like that. Yeah, me personally. You know, I like that. I ain't got no problem with that right there. No problem with that.
That's the beginning and end of what I need from the actress portraying that character, is a beautiful person. Now, again, we're not all going to agree on who the most beautiful person in the world is. I have a lot of actresses in mind. Quinlan Blackwell, like, I think she's bruh, you know, but we're not all going to agree. But as long as that person is attractive to a lot of people, I think that is the litmus test. And Lupita is attractive to a lot of people. Might not be to you, incel watching this video, that goes, I don't like black women. Who gives a fuck what you think? We're smart and you're dumb.
And I think what he's doing is, and I haven't seen the movie, but I think he's working around the periphery. He's using trans actors or black actors in roles that you're usually not accustomed to see them in.
But again, with a trans person, it's a little different, right? Because Elliot is a man. Elliot is portraying a man.
Yep.
That's the difference, right? Like, I can see why you go, okay, well, this person is not white. This person is black. But what you're now saying is that Elliot is not a man. We're all saying Elliot, right? I know Ellen was mentioned a little earlier, but we're all saying Elliot.
Right.
So Elliot is portraying their gender.
But not tampering with the essential Odysseus. This argument would be raging if Odysseus was black or Asian, as it would be with other, you know.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Let's stop. He's old. He's probably not a part of this culture war thing. He doesn't really know this, but he does know anti-black sentiment. He knows that.
Yes, he does.
So I think he's bullshitting here.
Yes,
but as far as this goes, as far as like modern day, no. If this person was portrayed by, let's say, like Gemma Chan, there's no fucking way that the outcry against this would be as vitriolic. People hate black people, bro.
Yes, they do.
They can't stand us.
Yeah, exactly.
They like Asian people more than they like black people. That's just a fact.
Yes, it is. Yes,
that's just a fact. Let's just be honest here. There's no fucking universe.
And trust and believe. Trust and believe. I've always said this, and maybe this is just me looking at the world in a worldview. I don't think America would. It's safe. It was Gemma Chan. I think Gemma Chan's Chinese or whatever, or a Chinese actress, right? And she was playing this character. They wouldn't be saying all of this. First of all, they don't want that type of smoke from China. China got, for what I understand, China got America by the balls. They don't want them problems. They don't want them problems. Is all I'm saying. You know,
that is similar to ours, where if Helen was portrayed by Gemma Chan or any other Asian person, that there would be this big of an outcry. There might be some people like, I don't like that it was an Asian person. Maybe it could have been one, but this is hatred. That's what this is.
So if you had a Martin Luther King novel and the person was white.
Oh,
again, dude, what the fuck? That's a real person.
Exactly.
Mark, you got to jump in here, dog. Like, why are you letting these niggas use fictional characters and then say, oh, well, you know, if it was MLK, No, that's a real person. That would never happen. We wouldn't do that. You wouldn't have a Hollywood movie that does that. And if they do that, it might be like a spoof or some type of comedy. They're doing it for effect. Exactly. They wouldn't be doing it as a serious film like this film is.
Exactly.
You have to stop that shit.
That would be jarring. It would even if it was a fiction, nobody would want to do that. But if you had an advisor who was black and you changed that advisor to a white person for ecumenicalism or diversity,
that's fucked up.
Nobody would really object.
That's fucked up. What he's saying is like it's okay if black people are in minor roles.
Whoa,
it's okay. We're not gonna be pissed off if black people are in an advisor role. But if they're prominent, if Lupita was Penelope, then we would have a bigger problem.
Exactly.
Come on, man. Don't you see it?
The question I have is he doing this because these are great actors and they will enhance even these minor roles, or maybe even to stretch it a little bit, is he doing it to open people's sensibilities, or is he just doing it, as has been suggested, to be subversive?
Have you seen Lupita act? How media illiterate is this guy? Has he never seen her before?
He don't want to see.
Has he never seen Elliot Page act before?
In Trust and Believe, he don't want to. He has a hard enough time keeping his face on his to keep his skin on his bones, let alone going to go see this movie and be like, yeah, I'm coming for Lupita. You know what I mean? And Martin Lamont Hill, he has some good points. I wish he would have pushed back a little more in this. Well, I'm gonna get to this at the end. I'm gonna get to what I like about
What do you mean? If these actors were like, yes, they're good. That's why they're here. Like, can you give me one example of a Christopher Nolan film that cast someone and they were just completely and utterly miscast?
Exactly.
I can't think of one.
Trash.
And I love Christopher Nolan's movies. The motherfucker had Timothée Chalamet in a minor role in Interstellar. The vision that man has is incredible. That guy's a gigantic movie star today. You didn't recognize him in Interstellar. That's the guy who you're talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you're wondering if Lupita and Elliot are miscast. This is incredible to me. All right, that's all I can stomach for right now. I've been recording for over 2 hours. I got to edit this bullshit. So yeah, I'm going to stop it there. And you guys let me know what y'all think in the comment section. But this is painful, dude. This is just these two tiny fucking roles. According to that one guy, these roles are tiny. And we've made all this hullabaloo about this. I thought they were going to have 10 minutes of screen time. They don't even get that. And this is where we're at. If those dislikes were real, and we know that they're not, all those dislikes over that. Wow. I think the Chuds are in for a huge L. And I can't wait to see the reviews for this. I cannot wait. It's going to be absolute cinema. Anyway, this has been your friendly neighborhood Birdman, and I am out. Peace.
That's my guy. What's up, Ty? That's my guy, the Birdman, man. Every time I love doing his videos. Yeah. Well, let me do. Hey, because I gotta give me something to drink real quick. But it's gonna be quick. It's gonna be quick, because man. But I'm not gonna look. Check this out. Not go nowhere. Quick short video. I mean, quick short commercial break. But I'll be right back with more. This is Tina's favorite commercial of the Dre Mack Show.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Now you can own one of the greatest gospel albums ever on the road, with only giant hits and legendary stars.
Biscuit. I know the truth about it. I love. Oh, how I love this biscuit. Oh, how I love this biscuit. It is the best biscuit. I know.
This treasury is not sold in stores, and when you call the toll-free number now, you also get another entire album of all-time gospel favorites.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. So here is my final thoughts. After being on here 3 hours, I was going to do this earlier, but being on here 3 hours, it's for one, the anti-black sentiment is so real. It hurts. Will was sitting up there, the critical drinker was so butthurt listening to Mark Lamont Hill that has way more credentials in academia that guy would ever have. Now, I will say I wish Mark Lamont Hill would have went a little harder. Go at his neck. Go at these guys' neck. Nope. They didn't want to go at his neck. And listen, like actively listen to what these guys saying. What's going on? What's good? I ain't see you in a minute. What's good? But go at these guys' neck. You know these guys are anti-black. They're proving to you that they don't like black people. The guy with the skin coming off his skeleton, he's the old school version of what Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic is. You see what I mean? He's the old school version of that. And a lot of it was black African American sentiment. They don't like black Americans. And this is why I call out grifters. This is why I call out these a Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic, Mayor McNugget. Those are the Pillsbury Doughboys of this. They're the makers of the biscuits. And you got the Air Julys, you got the thumb heads, and you got all the flat top face. You got all of these dudes eating the biscuits. This is why they're the Pillsbury Doughboys, and here are the biscuit eaters tearing it up. Because all you see is anti-black sentiment. That's it. That's all you hear. Anti-blackness to African Americans. That's what you hear. And what killed me on this is Mark said nothing about that. But I've listened to Mark on what's he on now? Joe Budden podcast. Snap off on rap music and this and other. Where's that same sentiment where you're the only representation of us? I need you to come a little harder. So yes, technically, I wish Birdman was on there. Because I know what Birdman is going to give me. And for me, Mark dropped the ball. I mean, he had a couple good points, but you need to go out their neck. You need to go out. You're the only one. You and the white dude up top that watched the actual movie, that actually sat and watched the movie, are the only representative. You got 3 other people that are very anti-black, and you're telling me you couldn't go harder than that? So yes, I wish Birdman was on there. Of course, Birdman, do a reaction. I need to tag Birdman and let him know we need to do a show together. Just one. I'm all asking for one. He needs to ask for one. Let him know, man. Because I think it would be a good dynamic for us to talk it and bounce back and forth and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But yeah. I enjoyed this, even though it was longer. But if y'all just now coming in, go back to the beginning of the video so I can give you a history lesson that black people was even there. So when these white people that are racist are saying all the proximity or Grecians and all of this and all of that, but black people was there. Black people was already there. You know what I'm saying? So that's my okay. And Alvin, so all right. You know what I mean? I like Birdman. What if you don't like Birdman? Go tell Birdman. You gonna let him know. You gonna let him know I speak highly of him. You know what I'm saying? You gonna let him know. But yeah, I know. I already know that, Tina. He was just on there so they didn't look like it was an all-white panel talking about the one black person that somebody made a video about that's not even in the movie for no more than 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So that's my personal thoughts on this. I still think it was good. Birdman, of course, doing his reaction, me react to certain things. Yeah, it was really good, man. So what did you guys think? Put it in the comment section below and let me know what you guys think.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that up, B.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this on up because I've been holding my pee for a while. Oh, y'all didn't need to know that. But trust me, I gotta go. But anyway, thanks so very much for tuning in to this special episode of the Dre Mac Show. Give you a reaction video. I don't know, because I'm trying to hook my capture card up and see if I could be able to game. I really want to game and just sit down and chill like sometimes, but that's only if I'm not busy or at work. Because Saturday nights I'm supposed to be kicking it, or at least something. But no, it was good. This was good. So yeah, put in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. But again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can never, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'm gonna holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe hard, man. Enjoy the rest of you guys on Saturday. Where's my outro at? Because you already know I gotta go. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.